We're back.
What up? What up? What up? We back in this bitch.
We are back in this bitch. Thank you. Back there, top left of the refrigerator. Thank you. Thank you the most.
Hey, even the people behind Obama, how y'all doing? Oh, I heard Obama listen to the show. That's just a rumor, though.
Barack Obama? You're like, nah, Harold Obama.
I didn't ask too many questions. I just took the Obama part and ran with it.
Just taking a run with it. Welcome, everybody. You know, if you do lucky number 7 twice, you get number 14, and that's exactly what episode this is. Welcome to the Red Pill Phone Tap, wherever you are, whenever you are, whenever you download.
Right.
We appreciate you guys making this podcast a part of your life. Anthony, we've got exciting things to report because we have even more countries tuning in.
Man, that's beautiful. I love to know
we're helping people worldwide now.
That we're now international motherfuckers. Like,
we're finally international motherfuckers. Yeah. After all these years.
Well, the Navy helped me become a little.
Well, I mean, yeah, you've been worldly. You were in the Navy, so you've been worldly. We always want to take a quick time out. As everybody knows, we don't do long intros on this show because we love to jump into the fun. But we want to say thanks sometimes to our listeners. Of course, all of our listeners in the United States. We would be here a long time if we told you the new cities that were tuned in. Yeah. We appreciate you guys here in the U.S. The United Kingdom has joined the party. Of course, Canada, Australia. We have new listeners now in Hungary. Yeah, that makes me hungry to do an even better job this week, right? A new listener in, you said the pronunciation is Bahrain? Bahrain, friends in the Middle East, of course. We still have our friends from Denmark listening. And another new country this week, Nepal.
Damn.
Someone from Nepal is joining us. And, of course, we still have our listeners in Spain and India. We appreciate you guys joining the show. Anthony, we're going to be covering two big topics this week on the show.
Okay.
We have a longtime fan of the show, Bruno, who we talk about a lot. We say he's the Kobe Bryant of
R.I.P.
He's the Kobe Bryant of Red Pill. I mean, he is very, very good at dating. He's a quick student, college basketball player. That asked us for some advice in the past that hopefully we have helped him out. But he wanted us to cover cold approach this week. So we are going to cover cold approaches later in the show. If you tuned in last week, you know we talked about not using dating apps as a crutch.
Right.
Okay? And then we kind of told you a little bit of how to not to use them as a crutch, getting some hobbies and some things like that. But cold approach is part of meeting women, and we'd rather you get good at cold approaching than sitting there swiping left and right. Man, you ain't doing shit on a dating app. You ain't doing shit, man. And
you're not approaching while you're on a dating app. That's what's fucking up your game because you're lazy with the swipes.
Yeah. But the first topic we're going to be covering this week is. Now, in the past, we've covered do not date single mothers.
I think that was episode 2.
I think it was 2. So if you guys want to cover that, if you guys want to listen to that and why we say never to date single mothers, go back and listen to that. It's a really, really good listen because we were really passionate that week. We had listened to some very convincing arguments on not dating single moms. But this first segment we're going to cover is going to be about you've decided to date single moms. Obviously, when you get to a certain age group, when you don't date single moms,
it's hard to avoid.
Yeah, it's hard to avoid. Or you were in a relationship with a single mom, you still have feelings. Or you're currently in a relationship with a single mom.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is we're going to break down what's at stake. Is that a good way to say it, Anthony? What's at stake, what you can expect. This is what your life is right now. If you are with a single mom, right?
Yeah, I struggle with this topic a lot because that's all I dated before.
Yeah.
I dated a lot of single moms. I probably had a 75-25% dating rate where single moms were most of the women I dated. So this topic I struggle with because I have switched that around. Now I'm not really looking to date single moms. If a single mom has a lot of benefits or a lot of advantages that I look for in women that don't have kids, I'm not against that either. But there's just a lot of things that you have to deal with as a man when it comes to dating a mother with kids, because you're not just dating her anymore. Now you're responsible for a family in a sense that isn't yours. You didn't lay down with her and have these kids with, and you're gonna now be responsible for the outlook or the overall. Is it safe to say overall safety, security, and emotional
welfare
of that entire family? And now even another man could possibly be involved in this picture as well now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more you're dealing with than just the woman herself. Some of you guys have problems dealing with a woman on her own. Now you add this on top of it. Now you got multiple layers included into this woman, and it's not just her. And you got to not only fight her female nature, now you got bratty ass kids to deal with. So and I know a lot of men who willingly take on those challenges.
Yeah.
And they feel obligated to those kids, to her, and how everything's supposed to work out. And you're not even married to this chick. You're just dating her.
Yeah.
And it's like you taking so much responsibility for something that has nothing to do with you. It's not your fault she had those kids. You had nothing to do with that. I know women who, we talked about this before, back in the day, they appreciative for a man even giving them an opportunity to date them because they know they had kids, and that there's a lot of responsibility to take on, and that mother made sure that those kids were in line, they were respectful. They say, hey, he's the man of the house, you don't talk to him, and if you have a problem, I will deal with you, you know. Now, kids run rampant, and they tell the mom if she should date the guy or not.
Yeah. And we're going to go over a specific case here on the show. Christopher Gardner was kind enough to share his story with them, and we're going to get into that really soon. But for those of you that did not hear the podcast where we warned you not to date single mothers, what we want to just touch quickly, because we could talk about this topic for a long, long time, but just touching it real quickly, Rollo Tomasi's has some great writings, essays, and he covers this a lot in a book called The Rational Male. He talks about, and the general term is alpha fucks and beta bucks. And so what women will do, just as a quick overview on this, what women will do is they will get with the alpha, the quarterback of the football team, the president,
random celebrity athlete,
right? Yeah, some NBA stars in town.
Yeah, rapper, R&B singer.
Yeah, and you've got them giving themselves freely to them because they want the physical attributes and the clout if it's a rapper or something like that this gives them. But then they have no worries about just giving their body to them and being dumped because they'll find a beta that will come in and then will take care of their kids
and take the mess and clean it up, so to speak.
Clean it up. And Anthony, we cover this maybe every week on the show. Do women reward you for sacrifice?
No.
Never. I would argue that it's not even physically possible for women to reward you for sacrifice. It's like it's physically impossible. They just expect everything. The reason they freely give themselves to these alpha guys is because there's no societal system of shame for just having a kid and ain't married. That's just no longer a thing.
Right.
So these women now have gotten
they celebrate it, actually.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're a single mom?
Yeah.
Oprah said you've got the hardest job in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
sending a fucking rocket to the moon is not as hard as a single mom, apparently.
What happened is the women were at home, at TV, not at work, by the way, at home, and listening to Oprah say that's the hardest job and it should be paid. It's like a 6-figure job, right? So these same women was like, wait. So yeah, this is hard. This is hard what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And let me backtrack up just a smidgen. Being a mother, the nurturing mother, like a real mother, not this. I do the minimum shit. Being a fucking mother of multiple kids or one kid is a task in itself, but it's supposed to happen within a family environment where you have a inclusion of the dad, that there's going to be some break within the relationship, right, where kids are not solely the mom. The mom doesn't always give the bath. The mom doesn't always change the diapers, right? There's some shared responsibilities with the kid. So I'm not saying that the mother has no value by raising the kid, but you still survive and go to work and feed yourself and all this other shit that comes with being an adult. But you're just also a parent. That's not, you don't get to shut down and fucking raise a flag of accomplishment because you fucking had a baby.
No. Yeah, it's like the movie Kill Bill, where she's telling her, like, hey, I'm asking you, like, not to kill me on behalf of my daughter. Who's that? Vivica Fox?
Vivica Fox.
And she says, you bitch.
Right.
You don't get out of this because you, like, popped out a fucking kid.
Right. Right.
I'm here for revenge. God damn it.
Look, the consequences of your actions still come first.
Yeah. And that's what, because we live in a feminine-centric society that already celebrates women just for having vaginas.
Yeah.
We're going to now give them another merit badge. All right, you got a vagina merit badge. Here you go. No, just for being born. You have to be treated with a certain level of respect just because you got a vagina. And this one over here's got a penis. Fuck this motherfucker. This one, though, has a vagina. and you better treat her like a lady. But they want to be equal, right? It's like, ladies, when y'all were like looking to, sidebar to this, when y'all were looking to be equal to men, y'all didn't know how bad it was over on this side, did it?
No,
motherfucker. You don't over
but
here.
They don't want equality. That's.
We want all the same shit y'all have, but we still want all the perks that we had over in this other fucking world. It's like, bitch, it don't fucking work that way.
No.
Let's jump right into this. Now, Christopher has not joined us live, by the way. And you know, Christopher may not want to hear what the hell we have to say on this, to be honest. I'm going to bring this up, and it's like, poor Chris. Because I wore a special jersey tonight for this show. And that is a linebacker of the Houston Texans, Whitney, and his last name is very important, Merciless. Because I'm about to get merciless as hell on this. Okay? So, Christopher Gardner writes the show for advice. And, you know, true to form, Anthony, we want to help everybody. Okay? And, so he tells me, hey, my girl just broke up with me.
Okay.
Do you mind helping? And I said, I'm really sorry that happened. I'm really sorry that happened to you. Tell me what happened. So Christopher Gardner writes, thank you, man. It's been a long time coming. She gave me so many chances. Let's take some notes as we go.
Because I'm already wanting to stop you, goddammit.
Let's take some notes as we go. She gave chances. What a kind woman. She gave so many chances. I never changed my behavior. I was needy and insecure. Okay, not good.
Okay.
Needy and insecure. And always asking for reassurance. Yeah, those aren't good things, bud. I feel like emotional cripple. LOL. We moved in together. Now we're gonna come back to needy and needing reassurance.
Yeah.
Because that just told me my advice to him.
Yeah.
Moving forward, I'm gonna circle that on our list of notes here.
The thing about these words is that he recognizes this though.
That's very positive.
Yeah.
I mean, so Christopher, you're well on your way here. Okay. We moved in together after dating for a couple of months. She has 2 kids. One of them, so single mom, one of them loved me a lot. The oldest one wasn't really accepting me. Let's come back to the kids. Okay. Always telling her mom, so it's an older girl, always telling her mom that she was happier when I wasn't living there. In the beginning, she would do anything for me. I fucked up one day. She would, he said on day, but I'm sure he meant one day. I fucked up one day. She wouldn't have sex with me. I got upset, and from that was the beginning of our problems. All right. That was to me, that's where she fucked up, but we'll keep going.
Yeah, this sounds like he has heard her version and he's regurgitating.
Oh, that's such a good call. I got upset, and from that was the beginning of our problems. She backed off of me and shut down emotionally to me. So I got really insecure, always asking if she loves me and wants to be with me. Oh, boy. All right. We're taking notes as we go so we can backtrack here. So that would go on for months. I would have a few good days, then bad ones. That's important too. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad.
I'm curious. I'm really curious what the good days look like.
Me too. So on New Year's Day, she asked me to move out. So you moved into her place,
right? That's number one.
Nope.
Number one, no.
And I did so. I got my own place. She asked for space, but she would call me every day. Okay.
Yeah.
Space.
But
calls every day. Oh, no.
The no contact rule should have immediately went into effect.
Yeah. It either looks how you want it to look.
Right.
Or it don't fucking look like nothing at all.
Exactly.
All right. But she asked for space, call me every day. Then I kept pursuing her, trying to get her to hang out. But she always says, yeah, Corey Wayne has a really specific video about that, right? But then she always says she was busy and couldn't. So I would get upset and ask her, would we ever have what we had before? That would get her really upset, and she backed off more and more. This is what she wrote me.
She did.
Okay, let's hit this message first. So the way it ends there, we'll start from the back and then we'll go back to the top. Chris, the reason every time you brought up, are we going to get back together, is because she already is getting everything she needs out of you. Quick phone call. Hey, would you come back if I wanted you to? Okay, cool, because I'm talking to this other guy, and he kind of ghosted on me. Hey, Chris, but if I wanted to come back, could we? And then Chris is like, yeah, but could we ever have what we have? God!
Don't pressure me. Don't push me. Don't corner me.
I need to know that you're available, but I don't want you.
I want your validation. I just don't want you.
Yeah. But I'm out here in the world, and I'm lonely, and I don't have a for sure guy. But you're just a phone call away to give you validation, to give me that confidence to get back out there. Let's start from the top, all right? She gave him chances.
Nightmare.
This is a nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not even to the text messages yet.
Ugh.
But let's break down this message, Anthony. We have some good notes here. She gave me chances. I love your take on this. You said, this sounds like a regurgitated...
Yeah.
Her story regurgitated through him.
And now he accepted it and was like, yeah, you did, didn't you? And now he has that guilt on him for whatever. Even if you fucked up, man. Even if you fucked up. We all fuck up, bro. Like, fuck ups exist. So, fucking up isn't the end of your fucking relationship. So, what, and I hate to say this to you, man, but you have so many beta tendencies and attributes that there's no fucking way that she can respect you if you don't let her know that, hey, yeah, I slipped or whatever the fuck you, however you want to word it. But
I'm still the captain of this boat.
Yeah, nothing's changing. I'm gonna fix that, but you fucking because dad left the fucking front door open don't mean the kids get to fucking wild out from now on because well, dad left the front door open. Hey, yeah, I did. But don't ever fucking you do that shit.
You still ain't allowed to go outside.
Right. Don't fucking try to put what you know not to do on me and then want me to suffer for all the actions you do from here on out. Not going to happen.
Let me give all of our listeners a real life hack because Anthony is always able to bring just up to date, up to minute conversations on dating because you still are dating, you know?
Yeah.
Which is very valuable to the show.
I'm out here.
But I am in a relationship, and so this is kind of my area of expertise on this show. Let me give you guys a life hack in relationships. When a woman gets upset with you, the first thing she's going to do is when you make a mistake, a bona fide mistake.
Yeah.
The first thing that woman's going to do... I want to use a for instance here. You left the dog outside all day. You came home, it was dehydrated. You just left the house. You left it outside. Y'all usually leave it inside, but you let it out to use the bathroom and fucking forgot. That's a mistake, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fucking mistake. And it's a real mistake, and you're just like, I fucking made a mistake. There's no arguing the point, you know?
Right.
You got busy. You were late to the office. Let me tell you guys what's going to happen as soon as you come home. This is a one-time. You've never done it before, ever. She's going to come to you. This is a hack, fellas, so pay attention. She's going to come to you and be like, "Oh, you left the dog out today, and last week you forgot to set the alarm, and then, a couple months ago you didn't get raisins at the grocery store," and she's going to make this one mistake into like, I don't know where this relationship is going.
It's going to be the launch pad for everything.
Yeah. So she's going to take this bona fide mistake, and then she's going to blow it up into all this dumb shit. Now, do you know what your job is? Now, I'm not going to tell you the exact verbiage to use with your wife, fiance, or girlfriend, but let me tell you covertly, your job now is to communicate to her, "Bitch, shut up." That is your move. You don't indulge any of this fuckery. Your job now, and you know what? Because you're feeling guilty about the raisins, you're feeling guilty about the dog, you want to, and here's why too. When men are talking to other men, we indulge them. If Anthony and I were roommates and it was his dog and I left it out, he would be upset. Like, Jesus, man, my dog almost died. There was no water out there for it. It's fucking out there in the Texas sun all day. Is dehydrated, man. I think I might have to take this dog to the vet. And I would be like, dude, Jesus, man. And you're like, and then you were late getting me the rent, man. Man, what's been going on, dog? And you would tell a guy like, Jesus Christ, man, I'm sorry. And then all of a sudden your male friend was shut down. Like, no, that's cool, man. Let's just get it together, all right? And then it would be done. Right? But when you do this with a woman, this is what's going to happen. Yeah, babe, you're right. I can't believe it. Yeah, and then the raisins. Oh, no, the raisins. And then this starts this fuckery that Christopher Gardner's in.
It's a dog pile now.
Yeah, it's now a fucking dog pile. Your job when you make a mistake is to communicate. Bitch, shut up. This is still my boat, and I'm still competent. And sit over there. And that is the life hack for all of our relationship guys listening to this show. Because you have to, they're spiraling in their head and they're emotional, and you have to be like, I made a mistake, bitch. Shut up. Got it. Nobody knows better than me that I made a fucking mistake. Okay? But you can communicate differently with men, your guy friends, because men are just, they're not going to fucking dog pile on you. With women, they're starting to spiral in their head like, oh my God, is this, we're out here in the middle of the ocean on this boat. Is my captain competent? And you need to look at her and make her know you are competent and that you're still in charge and you're not conceding any power to her because you fucking left the dog out.
Right.
No, sir. No, ma'am. I'm still the fucking man and the captain of this boat. And nothing's changed, bitch, just because I made a mistake. Bitch, are you perfect? No. Then shut up, sit down, and stay over in this boat.
And be careful about if you say that, are you perfect? Then she's like, but I didn't make the same mistake that you made.
Yeah, you can't. We're trying to tell you your inner dialogue. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah. We're trying to tell you your inner dialogue. However you say it. And by the way, don't
argue with women.
Yeah, don't argue with women with our rules when communicating with women. Don't argue with women. Just make your point and then leave the conversation. And then, women aren't getting paid the same as men. Well, actually, that's a fallacy. Women do get the same pay at jobs. Well, yeah, but then no, we ain't talking about this shit. Conversation's over. That's it. It's over. And guys, that's what you got to do. This "she gave me chances" thing tells me, Christopher, you got in far too many of those fucking conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is probably the next one we need to skip to. Christopher, bud, speaking of being the captain of your boat, can't move in with women, man.
No.
Sorry, bud.
Because now that's her boat.
That's her boat. She's been in charge of it. you cannot change a woman's mentality from if you go to her shit.
Right.
No. You've got to have your own place.
She'll let you drive the boat. Whether you don't run that, you can't own that motherfucker.
No. She is too mentally used to being in charge of that ship. Too mentally in charge.
Cause that's her, and when she goes to her default, this is hers. So she's gonna automatically default when you get into an argument. So default is because now you have to submit to stay.
Yeah.
You know
or you're kicked out.
As a man, you got to submit to stay. And if you find yourself having to submit to a woman at that point, come on, man. You already know the deal on that. That's nothing about Corey Wayne's book that talks about submitting to a woman at all.
Yeah. And Christopher has messaged us. If you can, bud, message us in the chat in the live stream. So he may have more to add. That's good news.
Yeah.
You can't go. So guys, what you have to do, even if you spend a lot of time at the girl's place, because if you are dating a single mom, logistically, kids, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, you don't want them kids at your house. Okay.
Facts.
So that was another mistake made. But Christopher would admit that, I'm sure. We're here to help. We're not here to dog on him. Okay.
If she asked you to move in to help her logistically for whatever reason, like, is that something that you think about doing, or you just say, nope, babe, you know?
This is where Anthony and I put up the gif of the woman saying, I said what I said.
Yes.
You don't move in with them.
So these are hard rules you have to give yourself that you got to stay in to protect yourself.
Yes.
Because I'm be honest, man, when men get in relationships, that's when you're the most vulnerable as a man.
And I already can see where men's head will go. Well, she wants me to move in. I know Wesley and Anthony told me, don't move in to a single mom's place. Don't move into a girl's place either, guys.
Right.
And just so we're not skipping over this, what you have to do is meet. You guys have each other's places. And if you move in, you got to move into a different place where you're now in charge of this environment. I know it doesn't make any sense, but this is the psychology of dealing with women and the psychology of establishing dominance over your environment. You can't go to their environment and establish dominance, especially with those kids. Those kids have got to have an environment change where, Christopher Gardner's in charge here. Yeah, Christopher Gardner's in charge here. So, is this new daddy? You know, so the kids are changed. These kids been running around. They've seen other boyfriends probably. And I'm not talking about just Christopher's situation, but I'm just talking about kids in general. Other boyfriends have been here. They don't take you seriously until you move to the next location where Christopher Gardner is now in charge of this boat. He said he was needy and clingy. Okay. That's a tough one. Needy and clingy, and didn't he use another word? Did he say self-conscious? Let's see. Sorry, guys, I know this is bad. Oh, he said he needed self-assurance. And then he said, I feel like an emotional cripple. Anthony, I don't know what your take on this, but I have two big ones. You can't be like that. But I think Christopher,
he knows.
Even before our advice, he knows you just can't be like that with women. The captain of the ship doesn't always need the executive officer's reassurance. Hey, XO, do you think the boat's gonna float today?
Because guess what? The XO is like, I don't need the captain if the captain keep fucking asking me.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a fucking mutiny on the boat.
Because everybody's like, man, look, the captain don't even know what to do, man. He keep asking me every day, like, what to do. And I'm like,
oh, my God, is the captain crying in front of the XO again? God damn it. That could have been one of the problems, Christopher, with the kids not respecting you, too.
True.
Mom's in charge.
Yep. Ask your mom.
Yeah, they're seeking her approval always. The other side I have to this needy and clingy stuff, though, Christopher, moving forward, away from this relationship, and that should give you a foreshadowing of my advice. But we'll get to that. Moving forward, Christopher, I need you to be very aware of women that make you feel insecure, needy, and what did you say? Needing self-assurance?
Clingy.
Yeah, clingy, all these things. Because we're not just going to put this, having this feeling, we're not going to put it all on guys. Now, guys, you have to get control of your environment. But I want you to become aware of women that make you jealous, women that are making you feel totally not confident. These are terrible, terrible, toxic women, okay? I'll give you an example. If you're dating a chick and she is just Mrs. Selfie every day. She's got, oh my God, look at this filter. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. I'm going to put a side-by-side up, Anthony. I'm going to put a side-by-side up. This is me with a filter. This is me without a filter and no makeup. That's it. That's the post. This bitch is not a free spirit. She's a free agent. So basically, if you have a girl that makes you constantly feel like this, you have to take, is this just me being insecure, or would this bitch make anyone insecure, and I've just gotten too emotionally close to her?
She's what I like, the she belonged to the streets.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's nobody's man. Yeah,
you can't ask somebody to sign a 12-month lease, and this is Donovan Sharp's words, not mine. You can't ask somebody to sign a 12-month lease, and the day they move in, there's a fucking for sale sign in the front yard. Okay. Hey, wait. I thought I had some place to live for 12 months. Yeah, you do. Just ignore that sign. Mow your yard around that sign. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. These bitches nowadays, especially young ones, are just always advertising themselves, and it's just real obvious. You want to ask, okay, either you're very arrogant and vain, or you are fucking for sale on the internet. And I don't mean literally like she's a hoe, but she is selling herself. She's just putting herself out there. You know what I mean? She's putting herself out there to be looked at. And why do women want to be looked at? 2 reasons. Validation. The other reasons, to replace your ass. Sorry. I mean, you have to really take some inventory when a woman's making you feel insecure all the time. You're like, man, I've been walking around my whole life feeling pretty good, have a pretty good self-esteem. I meet this bitch. Coincidentally, I don't feel good about myself at all. That ain't a coincidence, man. This bitch is toxic. Have you ever had a woman do that to you, Anthony?
Yeah. Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know how to deal with it at the time, though. I thought I had to deal with it. I thought I was obligated. And again, those same women have a good tendency to make you feel guilty for responding to any of their antics in a negative light. If you don't let them get away with it, somehow something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation.
I read a little bit of it on Twitter about they have her on tape saying that she physically abused him.
Man, look, he got canceled because of her, right? Like, he lost the Pirates of the Caribbean movie that they was going to put him in. He lost it.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Oh, man, yeah.
Did she accuse him of some sort of domestic violence?
Domestic violence.
Really?
And the flip side is that she was the actual abuser. I've been in 2 relationships like that. Verbal abuse and physical abuse. Now, the thing is about abuse is because men are stronger and bigger and have more muscle mass, and you punch him or kick him or throw things at him, that's still assault.
Yeah.
No matter how you look at it. You can't hit a guy and say, you don't do the damage that he would to you, that you wasn't abusive.
Yeah.
So how long will it take for that man to say enough is enough to when he finally retaliates, he leaves more damage, but how much damage have he done to him? Most of the damage that happened to me was mental and emotional damage for me.
Well, like our friend here, Christopher Gardner, she gave me so many chances.
He feels so guilty for whatever she's spitting in his ear on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis about whatever the fuck he is or did wrong, right? And I bet she compared him to some other guys. I bet
even if she didn't mention him by name.
Right. I'm just saying. Yeah. I bet she compared him all the time, and he felt less than. I bet she was saying, well, my dad or somebody. She would always compare him to another man. That's one of their tactics when they start doing this toxic shit. It's another test as well too, though. If you correct that shit, because when they start doing this shit over and over and over again, it's like a bully. You let a bully get away with it, he gonna keep doing it. It's easy.
Yeah.
I know how to make him cry. Watch this. And now they get to come up with different ways to do it. Now it's a game.
Yeah.
Now it's like they're telling their girlfriends like, he's so weak. I bet I make him cry if I do this. Watch. And now it's no even emotion behind it now. Now she's just this fucking verbal slanging. I used to call them emotional vampires. They suck all your fucking emotional energy out of you by spewing all this venom at you. And I don't know if you ever saw this study where if you talk good words or bad words to a plant, how the plant will thrive or fucking die. Like they did these studies. It's like, man, the energy you actually put on something like on a live organism, how it affects that person or affects even a little creature. You can do that with animals. A dog knows when you're talking to it in a way that is not encouraging, right? Versus encouraging that dog, even when you're training a dog. There's different ways of doing it, but they know when you're stern and when you're not. If you're stern and you're yelling at the dog, he's probably not gonna come to you right away, is he? He's probably gonna be hesitant. So in this case, man, I feel like he's probably not revealing it, but I'm sure there's been some verbal abuse throughout the duration, and he's never been able to flip it and be a man and stand up to her and say, "Stop it! No longer are you gonna do this to me."
Well, you're not literally going to say that.
No, I'm saying
because you're not going to lose. Yeah, but I just, because you pointed it out earlier too, Anthony. It's important because we have people of all levels
right.
that are listening, and it's important that this is inner dialogue. You have to say to yourself first, "No, you're not going to do that to me." I was writing it down just now. Well, I'm going to, Wesley, I'm going to give you, or in this case, Christopher, I'm going to give you another chance. Don't blow it. You're kind of skating on thin ice. And, Christopher reacting, but he knows he's wrong. Like I said, we're not beating him up. Christopher's reacting like, oh, thank God she gave me another chance.
Yeah.
I love her. A woman comes up to me and says, Wesley, I'm going to give you another chance. Bitch, sounds like you got some decisions to make. I don't need no chances.
Yeah, and
shit's not changing around here.
And you sound super nice doing it. And I'm when I hear that, I'm giving you another chance. I hear ultimatum. Yeah. I hear this is your last chance.
Watch me bend this guy to my will. Watch what I do. He's so emotionally in love with me. Watch how I do this, dude. These are toxic bitches, man. I'm telling you, because
the more you love them, they seem like the more they want to
hurt you.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And I'm here to tell you, people are going to write in the show, and they're going to be like, well, Wes, you don't get it. You know, there's kids involved. No, man. I have a 5-month-old involved in my life. My wife starts this fuckery, it's going to be like, sounds like I'm not the one for you. And here's why, guys. Here's why. I'm not going to let my daughter see me become a shell of a fucking man, no matter how much it hurts me that I can't see her every day. And, you know, my daughter's development and her seeing a role model as an alpha male, the type of man she should marry, is way more important to me. Being the role model of the type of man she should marry one day is far more important to me than even the joy of seeing her every day. And I love seeing my daughter every day. But I'm telling you, if my wife became crazy tomorrow and she started this fuckery, giving me a chance, get the fuck out of here. Sounds like I'm not for you, bitch. Sounds like I'm not for you.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
Well,
it's not okay because you're taking a major L.
Well,
you love your wife, you love your daughter, and it's you. But like
I'm
Patrice
talking
O'Neal
about Christopher's position, but
Yeah.
I'm saying that.
Well, Christopher's in the same position. He loves this girl.
Yeah.
So to use Patrice O'Neal's words, Christopher, you're gonna have to fucking get in the fetal position and get in the corner, and you're gonna have to cry.
Yeah, take that L.
Because it sounds like he loves the kids too, and that was the next thing we have on the bullet point: the kids. Christopher, this one's gonna hurt. I want you to brace yourself, bud, because this is gonna hurt. Because I know you love the kids. And Christopher, Anthony and I had a conversation about this week. It's just coincidental that you reached out to us this week also, because we had this scheduled as a segment on the show. And one of the reasons we had this scheduled as a segment is because I've gone through this, where I was mentoring a stepson, okay? And so I've been where you have been, especially it sounds like you were very close to the youngest one. Sounds like the oldest daughter was very, very against you. Because she's probably acting like her mom. She feels like the world's her oyster. If it doesn't work out with Christopher, I'll just find a new dude.
Well, the kid gets
everybody will love me.
The kid gets to treat you the way the mom is treating you, though.
Right.
So,
mom gave you another chance, Christopher.
And you think she don't hear the arguments in the walls?
Kids are very intelligent. I mean, they're very smart these days. And Christopher, you're not going to like to hear this. We have a great analogy on this. Brace yourself, bud. It is unnatural to care for someone else's children. I'm going to repeat myself because, again, I want you guys in the audience to understand this. It is unnatural for a man to take care of offspring that are not his own. The analogy that Anthony and I constantly use on this program is the lions. When a male lion comes and he takes over a pride, and he can only do that by nearly killing the dude that was in charge of the pride before. But when he takes them over, first thing he does, he kills all them fucking cubs. Kills them all. He's like, nope. We're not fucking wasting time and resources for some other motherfucker's kids. This chick, and we're not going to mention her name because she'll cancel culture the fuck out of us. But we're going to read some text from her in a little bit. This bitch has no fucking... Anthony, she has absolutely no appreciation that our friend Christopher here is willing to take care of two full-grown pieces of sperm from another fucking man. He was willing to love these kids, and it's unnatural. It's unnatural to him. He didn't come in and say, cool, bitch, you're cool. These other two monuments to some other dude you used to date, or two other dudes you used to date, whatever the case is, because we see a lot of those nowadays.
I was going to ask you this. Doesn't that exist when women fucking section off their kids because of a man? And this man, and like, you see it all the time where women are just like, well, it's the man, and then the kids get fucking left to fucking fend for themselves because the mom is so enamored with the dude that now, if you come in as a man, not only do you not get the lead role, you still got to take care of another man's kids. Like, that's the intro you get. But if you are a man and you come in this role knowing that, hey, if I'm coming in as a lead role, I lead everybody. There is no, because if I'm with you, I'm with all of you. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said at the beginning. You take on everything. Like, you don't just date her. You date her kids, her fucking dogs. You moved in the house, so now you're over the fucking bills now. Like, all that shit has to be in your mindset of what's happening, because now you got to protect all of this. You're the fucking man.
You know my favorite part of becoming a stepfather?
What?
There's at least one thing that I do love about it, is the moment you tell a chick, cool, I'll look out for your kids. Her and her family, they get together and they spend like $9,000 and throw you this amazing party.
No, they don't.
Where you're where you're honored by everyone. Wait, Anthony, you're telling me that's not what happens?
That doesn't happen.
I heard what happens is they sit you at a table and everyone from her family
admires
comes by
you.
and they put their forehead on the top of your foot and they're like, I can't believe you would fucking do this for our daughter. And they fucking beautiful fucking, they get strippers from the strip club and they feed you grapes the whole fucking time.
Nice.
And everyone just fucking applauds for you. They're just like, man, what a fucking nice guy. He's taking care of some other dude's full-grown sperm.
And I heard you get a parade thrown for you too.
Oh, is that part of it too?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
For your anniversary,
fly you out to New Orleans and you get to do
They do a second line
parade. Yeah. No. You get none of that, do you? You get Let me ask. I'm not joking. Do stepdads deserve that?
I do. I think they do.
They maybe deserve more.
I think they, at minimum, deserve your fucking loyalty and submission, because, again, I mean,
look, I want you to repeat that part. You would think I don't get a parade with a second line. I don't get honored. I don't get strippers feed me grapes, the family putting their forehead on my feet, none of that. But you would think at least I could get a fucking, oh my God, thank you in private and get submission and loyalty.
Yeah.
These bitches don't do that.
Not at all.
They don't do it. The next thing we have here in the bullet point, Anthony, wouldn't even give him sex.
You got a problem with me without kids doing that shit.
Yeah. Wouldn't even give him sex.
Yeah.
No, fuck the parades. Fuck the party where he's the guest of honor.
I think if you go back to episode 2, I think we touched on this. Sex is not only expected. I should be able to have sex with you on a corner of a busy intersection if I want to.
If I'm taking care of some other dude's kids.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
There's just no. It's impossible for women to appreciate sacrifice as men. It is. You know how
you were supposed to.
You know how, like, Anthony, if I go out to my sidewalk right now and I start flapping my arms really fast, can I fly?
No.
And on the same token, women physically can't appreciate sacrifices from men. It's the same fucking thing. And I wish our guys would understand it. I think they think I'm kidding. But this isn't from me. This is from Rollo Tomasi's book, where he tries to teach men, women do not appreciate your sacrifices. They just don't, man.
So why should you sacrifice?
Why should you do it? And I'm not telling you be like the lion and go in there and kill all of her kids.
Of course not.
Or put them up for adoption or whatever. But you can't get her submission and loyalty. And in this case, you can't even get some fucking sex.
Wow.
No sex. So now he says, I get no sex. He's beating himself up. Man, I shouldn't have got so upset. Oh, damn it. Sorry, Wes.
Can
Anthony.
I ask you a
fucked
question?
up in my relationship. And then she goes distant from there. Bullshit.
You don't get to do that. Let me ask you a question.
She used that as an excuse to go distant. That's not why she went distant.
When do you leave the relationship at this point?
Oh, again, I already told you my line. Bitch, sounds like you got some decisions to make.
Right. Like,
I'm already over here taking care of your fucking kids.
I'm over here. My ears are red. I got the headsets on, but I feel my ears getting red.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Me too. I'm getting so mad for him.
I'm like, this is going the total opposite direction of a relationship. Like you said, you got a decision to make. You don't have to have me here. And I don't know who decided for you to come in or if it was mutual agreed upon, whatever. But look, I'll be out of here 3 weeks. You know, that's fair.
I already paid for half your kids' shit. So
like 3
weeks is enough time.
You become a babysitter. You become a fucking mentor 100%. And all that shit. It's not, man. It's so
out of respect for you, since we're broken up, and I'm out of here in 3 weeks. Out of respect for you, I won't fuck bitches in this apartment while you're here.
Right.
While you're here, because I'm not slowing down for somebody.
See,
I'm giving you so many chances, bitch. Chances for what? You got 2 kids and no fucking.
All right, so
no husband.
It's hard to get. So if you're listening to us be upset about this, and it's like, why are they? But I love this chick. I wouldn't do that. I couldn't get myself. I'm gonna tell you something, man. The pain that you feel from shit like this,
it's real, isn't it?
This shit will turn you and make you change. Because the thing is, if you like feeling this kind of pain, then keep doing what you fucking doing. Keep fucking being insecure and chasing a fucking woman that showing you all the signs that she don't fucking respect you, that she don't have any fucking sense of attraction, because a bitch that's telling me no to sex is a bitch that don't want me, and that's a rejection already. How long am I going to allow her to reject me over and over again? Sex is in my relationships. I can't speak for everybody, but in my relationship, once sex has happened, sex is not a fucking negotiation.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
Yeah.
This is how we communicate. That's part of it. That's part of being in a relationship
the
with me.
feminine-centric society that we live in, Anthony, it would have you think that husbands can rape their wives.
You
had the same reaction as me. It's possible.
Yeah,
but it's not as likely and as common as these motherfuckers. By the way, Rollo Tomasi says, and this stat has been proven wrong time and time again, there are literally colleges that say 1 in 4 women have been raped. Really? So if there's 8 bitches in the room I'm in, 2 of them that have been raped, get the fuck out of here. And like Rollo Tomasi goes on to say, it's been proven wrong time and time again. Jesus Christ, 25% of the population of women in North America have been raped. I digress. Fuck.
I gotta look into that. I definitely wanna read into that one.
Oh,
that study.
Well, since we're on the subject of woman fuckery, but let's go back to the kids, because you had a great quote this week when we were preparing for this show. And this is what you called the lever. So when you get into a relationship with a woman, you are going to have some very, very real feelings. That's why our friend Christopher Gardner here is blaming himself. He's beating up himself. He can't see how clearly lucky this woman was to have a guy come in and take care of somebody else's fucking kids. We'll go into these. He gives us some more details later. But when you get feelings for a woman, we've said this time and time on this show, you're no longer at the wheel. That's why I say, if my wife goes crazy tomorrow, and I gotta be like, bitch, sounds like you got a decision to make. I'm not changing my life. We're not changing how we run things around here. And then we gotta split up. I gotta sit in that corner and take an L. I gotta fucking cry, but I have to stand my fucking ground. and I'm telling you guys, when you have feelings for a woman, when you love them, you're no longer totally at the wheel. Instead of doing exactly what I'm telling you, you're going to kind of dance around. Well, I don't know, Wesley, it's a little this a little bit different, you know? Yeah.
That's what I'm so afraid of, man. That's where I was explaining that about the pain that you feel, and you have there's some hope alive, because he said that she kept calling him, right? She kept calling him every day, and she's giving him all this fucking false hope. Like, hey, get out of here, but I'll still want to talk to you.
Oh, we're going to come back to that.
The fuck?
Because that is the bullet point that we're going to come back to one more time, because that's where you're supposed to change in your phone to her phone contact. That's when you change her name to Pure Evil. We're coming back to that one. But the way you can get attached to women, you also can get attached to kids. And this happened to me once before. I was a father figure to a young man, a very impressionable age, 12 years old. And Anthony, you witnessed me really making a positive change in this kid's life.
Yeah.
Your words, you're like, we were talking about it in details this week, and I don't mind getting into it because I made you go into some details last week. But you were the one that observed, God damn, this kid was a douchebag. He always talked about wanting to be a chef, but when I come over and try to teach him how to cook, this motherfucker was just, oh, whatever, I know everything. And then I came in and I took over. He had run away from home and walked a long, long distance to get away from home. Police were called, and this was the moment where I took over as mentor in his life. I had to look at his mom in the eye, and I had to say, hey, the kid's grounded all the time because he makes bad grades, because he's grounded all the time and he's miserable, so he makes bad grades, so he gets grounded all the time. I'm like, I look at this woman and I go, can we just both say aloud, what you're doing is not working. It's not working.
Yeah.
And I said, don't worry. I have experience leading young men. ROTC through high school, taking a lot of leadership classes there. Of course, my time with the U.S. Army. Don't worry. I'm going to take this over. This is what you're doing is not working. I'm going to take it over. And what'll happen, and what happened with me, was I took it over logistically because the kid was making logistically my life a living hell. Because it was just, he was always unhappy, and then him being unhappy would make my girlfriend like in a bad mood, and then we're going on a date that night. I'm like, look, I got to take fucking charge of this. And what'll happen with these kids is you get in and you mentor them, and you'll make a positive change, and then it'll happen again. It'll just be something little, you know. Next time Anthony comes over to show him how to cook, he's not a douchebag. He's developing some social skills. Got the kid involved in sports, and he hates the mother. He hates sports. I'm like, cool. Anyways, the sports I have him signed up for are,
right.
This, and we're going to try to get him in soccer in the fall. I had a whole regimen, and he was, I was like, he's going to have to play a musical instrument. I had decided in this specific case, he was playing video games and controlling a little avatar on the video game, and so he kind of thought he was doing some shit. Like our listeners who are on Tinder. Yeah, I approached women today. I swiped left on the ones I didn't like. Yeah, you're not doing shit. You're not in the world doing shit. Yeah. And he was kind of the same way. So I got him involved in sports, got involved with piano. And what'll happen with you guys is they'll make this positive change, or you'll say something and they'll give you a look, or they'll come give you a hug, and you'll be like, fuck, I'm proud of this kid. And you have this emotional connection with them, right? You're like, fuck, I'm proud of this kid. And you and I, it was a really, really bad breakup because she was a very toxic person, like it sounds like Christopher here is dealing with. And I remember that emotional moment. I was on the phone with you, and I was stuck in traffic on I-10 here in Houston. And you said, all right, you need to delete and block this girl's number. Okay. Because it was kind of the same thing. She was reaching out to me. Hey, what's going on, Wesley? Hey, just want a little bit of validation. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's all I wanted. Got to talk to you later. Bye. And you were finally putting your foot down as my friend. You were like, look, delete the contact. Well, block the number first, then delete the contact. And I was like, all right, that's what I'm going to do. Fuck, I'm doing it right now. And then there was that moment, and I was sitting in stop and go traffic, and you said, now delete her son's contact. And I'll never forget that moment because I sat there and I pulled the car over because I was having an emotional moment. And I was thinking, what if that little boy wanted to reach out to me? And I'm not there. And the number's blocked. And I remember pulling over the car, and I fucking hit the steering wheel, and I was like, fuck. And you were just over on the other side of the phone. You were silent. You're like, he's got to go through this. And I blocked and deleted. And that was probably harder than the breakup, because this person wasn't doing all these shitty things to me, know?
Yeah.
So, guys, they've got the lever. And Anthony, explain to our listeners what the lever is when it comes to stepchildren.
You kind of put me on the spot because now I forgot what I said.
Well, the way you said it earlier this week when we were talking about it, you're like, she can always pull the lever on you. Be like, I don't want you. Okay. By the way, don't talk to the kids.
Right. Okay, yeah, now I remember. Yeah, at any time. Because these are not your kids.
They're hers.
So, and how you look and sound trying to say, but I have a relationship with somebody else's kids that's not yours, you sound crazy. So, if you try to say, hey, and you're appalled by the situation, you look bad in this scenario. No matter how it looks to you, you look bad on the outside looking in like, hey, why are you being a creep? Why are you stalking this family? You should just let it go. That's what everybody's going to tell you.
I have a specific story because that's what we do on the show, isn't it? So we had 2 major breakups, the same person that I'm talking about. And the first breakup, it was a week after the breakup. No, 2 weeks after the breakup. Kind of 2 weeks is kind of where humans start to go, oh shit, this is real.
Yeah.
And it was the next Monday at school. This particular boy went up to one of his teachers and put a note on her desk and just kind of smiled like it was just like it was a happy note. Like, hey, thanks for teaching us some stuff. And it looked happy. She opens up the note. And the note says, I'm so depressed and I want to kill myself. And it was, even though me and this gal had been broken up for 2 weeks, I get a call from her and she's obviously in tears. I mean, you hear this about your son. So I went over there because I was terrified. I was like, oh my God, this kid's going to kill himself. Now, why was he going to do it? Probably clearly he was adjusting to I was gone, and I had probably been the most involved with him at a really impressionable age. I'm not trying to give myself too much credit, but I did do a lot in architecting this kid's life. So the 2 week point, he probably had that going on.
You was holding him accountable as far as his homework and
yeah, his grades went 0 to 60 overnight.
So you was involved.
Simple systems in.
You was involved with the fucking teachers on the web, on the app, or whatever the fuck.
I forgot about that. Yeah, shit. I was on the school app. I had all the teachers' text number.
Right. So you was super involved in the shit. So it's not like you go away and all that shit continues because she wasn't doing that shit. Yeah, she wasn't doing it. So there's a fucking transition for him, and he don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, guys, the reason we talk about these specifics, I want you to know how beta I once was. I put all that work into this. So the day that he does that, I get the call from her. I get off the phone with her. I go grab him. Him and I used to have a thing. If we want to talk about something, let's go talk about it man to man. That's what we would call it. Hey, I don't like the way you're doing this. Let's go have a man to man talk. And we would always go to McDonald's and have a McFlurry. So that day I went and grabbed him and got a McFlurry. And we're having a really positive talk, that's good. You don't want that to go negative. The day's talking about committing suicide to a teacher.
Right.
You don't want that to go badly. So having a good talk is a good thing. And I'll never forget, to your point, where did you go with, I get the phone call, where did you go with my son? I was like, we're down here at McDonald's with a McFlurry. He's allowed to just go to this large apartment complex and visit his friends, but me having him, to your point, I'm the creep now.
Yeah.
And it's just like you said, Anthony, but I loved this kid.
Yeah.
I'm a creep. Of course he's safe. He's with me. 2 weeks ago, I was the major dude in this guy's life. And Anthony, these guys that are getting into relationships with women that have kids, you have to know what's at stake when you go into it. They can pull that lever on you.
At any time.
I mean,
and it's most likely these things hurt because they come at a time when you're not expecting it. Because guess what? He was talking about good days, bad days, and shit. Before she's ready for you to leave, she's planning your fucking exit, man.
Yes.
This is not no fucking.
Yes.
You know what? Today I'm not feeling you enough to the point where I don't want you here anymore. And guess what? She don't care how you fucking survive after you leave.
And you're living there, having to you're captive to her mood.
Right.
She having a good day? She not having a good day?
That's why you can't move in with bitches, man.
Yeah, you're captive.
There's a thing where you have this false sense of inclusion, right?
With the family.
Yes.
But I mean, there are step parents that do stay together forever.
And it exists. It exists.
But they have the lever on them too. The moment she pulls that lever, you are exiting stage left. Those kids are if you have a child by somebody, the law makes sure, you have to get a lawyer. We've talked about that on this program. But the law makes sure there are things in place to where you can see your kid. Stepkids, ain't a goddamn thing, man. All that money, all that time, all the mentoring, it's all gone. Guys, we're not coming down on single moms. Well, we sort of are, because they tend to be evil. We're not really trying to come down on them as much as we want you guys to know what's at stake when you're with a single mom.
Well, the risk involved with a mother with kids are far greater for you
emotionally.
Because you have to get involved
and financially
in everything involved with them. You take everything with this woman when you date her, because let's say you get with her, she has 3-4 kids. That's almost the worst scenario.
I've done 4 kids. I've done it.
But let's say the dad hits one of the kids and left a bruise on the cheek of the little girl or something. Wasn't an accident. The dad just got mad. Threw the remote at her and it left a cut on her cheek, Mom is hysterical. You're the boyfriend. You think none of that energy is going to be pushed on you?
Exactly.
All that shit is you now. You have to take on all that shit. You got to understand there's a lot more at risk and a lot more involved with women as they. I'm not saying don't date them. I'm saying, I am saying don't date them.
Yeah, we're saying don't date them.
I'm saying.
But if you go against our advice, we want you to know what's at stake.
Yes. You have so much more to take on, and if you don't, and that's what they do. They hold it against you if you don't react correct in the situation, right? Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, I'm like, what am I supposed to do? That is both of your guys' kids. You want me to go beat up her dad.
Yeah.
Now I get a case for beating. It ain't my fucking kid.
That was immediately where my mind went. It's not about can I beat him in a fight. It's like here I'm going to fucking jail.
Right. And guess what they gonna ask you? What you in here for? Oh, I was beating up my girlfriend's daughter's dad.
Well, the girlfriend was going to tell me to move out if I didn't beat up because I had moved into her place.
But then the kid hates you because you beat up her dad.
Exactly. I didn't even think of that, man.
I didn't
even think of that.
It's so much shit that you gotta fucking balance. Why put yourself through all that shit, man? It is not advantageous for you. It just isn't. Now, even if none of that shit exists, right? Let's say the dad passed,
because
right?
that's what our listeners are doing right now. Well, Wesley, you're talking about some things that don't apply to me,
right?
Yeah.
No, the dad's gone. Let's say the dad passed or the dad lives in another country. He's nowhere involved.
Yeah.
Right?
The dad ran off to another country and the dad died are like the two where I'm like, all right, the kids have nobody.
Yeah.
And by the way, we should have prefaced this whole segment with this. We know this ain't good for the kids.
Right.
Yeah. But guess who made that decision?
The mom.
Her. That's what I'm saying. These young hoes out here are like, well, I had a little baby with Bradley. I don't like Bradley anymore. I'm going to get a new boyfriend, husband, and they'll just have to take care of Bradley's kids. And then, as you call it, double dipping.
I was just getting ready to say.
As you call it.
I was
then
like, yep.
I'll get Bradley to pay me child support by law. And then I'll have my new boyfriend pay for stuff too. And I'm just
birthday
winning
presents.
with money. Oh God!
Don't they always tend to like bring up the kids' birthdays and like Susie wants to go to cheerleading, but she can't afford a cheerleading outfit.
Yeah,
you get all these conversations, man.
She wants, and then here we go. This one right here. And her dad won't pay for it. He just thinks child support's the only thing that's going to get these kids through.
Right.
And I'll tell you that fucking child support's $600 a month. Motherfucker. Yeah, that's what the child support is for.
Yeah.
You don't like the setup? Shouldn't have fucking left his ass. God. Oh, I know. I already read the emails. No, Wes. She didn't leave him. He's a piece of shit. Baby daddies are all piece of shit. There's a lot of good guys in the world. None of them are guys that have had children and had divorces or breakups. Right.
Yeah.
Guys, as we say, every man says he's a real man and an alpha male. But I go into that public restroom and some dude has peed on the toilet seat every fucking time. Guys, every one of the baby daddies is not a piece of shit.
Right.
That girl has convinced you of that shit. Let's go to, before we get to the text, let's go back one more time to she wants space, but she calls every day. This is how I know this bitch is evil. As I read through, that was where I stopped when I was reading this, and I go, I already know what this is all about. I want you to go away. But, Christopher, when I call, I want you there waiting for me. And if you don't pick up, I might start dropping some text hints or some social media hints that somebody else is hitting it. Or
if you're already gone, you should automatically know that.
Well, 100%. But she's gonna twist the knife.
There's a reason she want you gone.
She's gonna twist the knife, fellas. When a woman says she wants space, give them all the space,
and don't look back.
Don't look back. In this case, now you ain't gonna take care of two kids. I know that you're emotionally attached to, but that's your time and resources you are not giving to another lion's cubs. I know, I'm being pragmatic. I know I'm not emotionally attached like you are. I know. And I'm trying to be sensitive to that. I really am. But you need to look at it a little bit rationally here.
I'm your best friend. I told you to fucking do it.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to hurt you.
Yeah.
I knew the pain you was going to be in. But it comes a time when you can't allow someone to continue to fucking drag you.
Yeah.
They don't even have the same level of emotions you have at the moment. And that's going to unify you. Like, they don't give a fuck. How much more can I take from you until I'm completely done with you? That's their only job left now.
Yeah.
It's like, how much can I get out of you now? Because you're not going to leave me alone. So I'll take advantage of you while you're still emotionally attached to you finally get your sentences and you're like, I'm leaving this bitch. And then by that time, she don't care. She don't care when you leave. Trust me. When she asks you to leave already, that you get up and you leave, man. Because first of all, don't put yourself in this position. But if you're in that position, you get up and leave, and you don't look back, and you work on yourself, and fuck what she had to do. Because now this is a lesson. This is a bona fide lesson for you. You're no longer going to put yourself in a position to where this pain comes back. Because as soon as you put yourself back in the same type of position, you're like, hey, Wesley, that was just her. That was just her. The next chick is not going to treat me like that. And that's what a lot of women I've noticed do that. When I talk about this shit out loud, women love to say.
Not all women.
Yeah. Well, you can't blame. No, I'm not blaming it. I'm not blaming this chick from the last chick. I'm not. But I see the same situation. Next time I go to a red light and I say, fuck it, I'm going to run it, and I didn't see a cop and he pulls me over, fuck, I can't do that again.
Right.
Or I get a chance, maybe I do it and I got away with it, and then the next time they run my fucking license, this motherfucker keep running red lights. The judge's going to judge you and say, you don't respect red lights, do you?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a higher fine.
Repeat offender.
Right. Higher fine, even now possible jail time for running fucking lights. You're going to pay the cost for ignoring the strict rules. When the way I became red pill, I gave myself strict rules to abide by because they made sense.
But we give ourselves strict rules to abide by because we know in the moment we may not want to do it.
Right. Especially in the moment you don't want to. You give yourself so many reasons to do it. How many reasons you gave yourself to stay around in that toxic relationship?
And specifically in that one, anytime she got mad, keep in mind there was a...
Oh, you used your favorite fucking...
Yeah.
To be fair, I was like... No, I hated that term from you with that.
Yeah, well, that's a different conversation. I was saying to be fair to our friend Christopher here, because I want to be fair to him that I've done this dumb shit.
Yeah.
To be fair to Christopher on this, this particular girl where I had the stepfather role with, whenever she got mad, whenever things weren't going the way she wanted, because it was her place that we were with. Now, there was a grandfather, there was her and a kid, and I was the head. So it's a 4-person little family there. Nope, go back to your apartment. When can you come back? You're gone indefinitely. You got all kind of shit over there and stuff. And how long did I do that?
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Anthony watching me do that shit was just like...
nauseating.
So let's go on to... almost said her name.
Yeah,
we can't do that because we are living in a cancel culture. We can't even just go first name. But her name does start with an S, so let's call her what she is. These are texts from our friend Succubus. She says, bear with me here on the live stream. We're going to have to get a little closer to the camera. Succubus says, right now I need peace. You are not giving me the peace I need. Our relationship has been on a downward spiral for months. I've been hanging on to the feelings I have felt when we first met. I have no trust in you being what I need you to be. You have said over and over you will show me you can be, but what I see doesn't match your words. Boy, I've never read so much and gotten nothing out of anything in my life. You've said time and time again, you can be what I need you to be. Bitch, you don't decide what anyone needs around here. I'm in charge.
Well,
God damn it.
What do you... The thing is
I'm already taking care of your fucking kids.
If I'm in this relationship, right?
God damn it, this gets me pissed.
And I get something like that. Like you said, a lot of words that don't mean anything.
Don't mean shit. I know. I'm kind of like speechless.
I can't.
I needed you to mean. I read that, and let me reread it in man talk. Right now, woman fuckery, 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 one fuckery. Goodbye. That's what I read. And this poor fucking listener of ours, Christopher, is over there spiraling because he's so fucking hurt.
Well, he's looking for any sliver of hope.
Yeah, that's what he's looking. He's trying to read between the lines. What could I do? Because men are solution oriented, and he's like, okay, how do I get this back to where when we were happy? And you're dealing with a woman here that doesn't fucking care about getting it back because she has no loyalty. She has no appreciation that you were taking care of her kids. Let us go through Succubus's texts a little bit more. She says, I have 2 children. Congratulations,
I was just about
bitch.
to say, congratulations, bitch.
That makes you special as fuck. I love the way she announces it. I have 2 children.
Like he didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like he didn't know that. She's sitting over here writing this, like I said earlier, the bitch that wants to, here's me with a filter, and here's me with no filter.
That's how you know this shit
makeup.
canned. The canned fucking excuses that they get to go to and they get clapped up about, oh, she has 2 kids.
Wow.
What?
2? Anthony, has a woman ever had 2 children?
Yes.
I've never heard of this.
I know.
This is fucking amazing. So she says, I have 2 children who come first. They always come first. Let me sidebar here real quick. For some... God damn, this fucking bitch pisses me off. All right, let me sidebar real quick. I want to drop some real knowledge on you right now for our relationship people. Because I just experienced this 5 months ago. I had a daughter. Your physical body, Anthony, once you see your real... And I loved this other young man that we talked about earlier that I was a stepfather to. But if it would make... I would kick him in the face if it made my daughter happy for 2 hours. That's how much you love your real offspring. You know, I'd push this kid out in front of a car if it made my daughter laugh. I mean, it's not even rational how much you fucking love your kids, right? But you have to be disciplined, and you have to fight the urge to put your kids first, and you have to put your relationship first. Okay? I'm going to repeat that for everybody. Your spouse comes before your kids. Why is that, Wesley? No, my kids always come first. Me and my wife put the kids first. Well, then you're on a road to divorce, motherfucker. Because here's the thing. Let me point out something very obvious. In 18 or 19 years, that motherfucker's moving out, and y'all are going to be sitting there staring at each other. Okay? The other thing is, you have to put your marriage first so that you can model for your child what a healthy marriage looks like. And it can't be fake. It can't be mom's all about the kids and dad comes second. And, oh, Dad, are you listening to rap music again? Oh, Dad. Dad's an idiot. Especially if you have daughters, because your daughter is going to marry you, okay? Not literally you, but you have to model the type of man that she's going to marry. You have to get up every morning and do it for her. Your relationship, although physically you want to put your offspring first, You have to put your relationship first to prepare those kids for life. All right. Giving some good advice kind of calmed me down from the succubus's text. All right. I have 2 children who come first. Then I have me. You don't make me... Let me get a little closer here. You don't make me the best version of myself I can be. I know my actions have hurt you, and that kills me inside. Anthony, will you take it from here? I'm going to go flip something over.
Okay.
You don't make me the best version of myself, and I want to be the best version of myself. And you don't make me the best version of myself.
You are responsible for your own self, bitch. I'm so sorry.
No.
That you feel
she wants to be responsible for 2 kids, but not be responsible for herself. That's what she wants. She needs a man. Oh boy.
How do you explain to your kids that, hey, you're not gonna be? I can't teach you to be self-efficient because I'm not self-efficient. It doesn't make any sense, do it?
Well, none of this makes any sense. So, I mean, to be fair, it's consistent. None of it makes any sense. You know, I mean...
You can't... you cannot...
I know. You're having the same problem as me. I'm like, I want to start yelling at this, so I'm going to start pausing and taking a breath.
I'm trying to be very deliberate because I do want to give advice, and I do want to, understand the scenario, but it's very difficult for me because I would have never allowed this to get this far. But I'm trying to go back to who I was before too, as well, though.
But it's also important to point this out because, as my wife points out a lot to you and I both,
okay,
this is happening to 97% of men out here. I mean, it happened to me. It's happened to you until we got better. So, thank you to our friend Christopher here. This, just us dissecting this word for word, is helping more than Christopher. It's helping people that are going through this.
Yeah.
This is so clearly, Anthony, and I know this is going to hurt Christopher. And if that's what's happening, we're sorry because we know that you're going through a lot of pain. But we want you to see what an outsider that has no feelings involved is obviously seeing. This is a lot of grandstanding. She's admiring her own work, isn't she, Anthony?
Oh yeah, 100.
I mean, this almost looks like I'm showing my friends this.
Oh, that's the 2 kid statement shit was. That's what I said. This is a canned speech that she's already fucking had with her friends and family, whatever, and now she gets to tell you why you ain't shit and you ain't enough. Because this is these type of women,
and she's so brave for sharing this.
These type of women are famous for this shit. They get to spew venom on you and watch you react. It's like, watch this. That's exactly what these texts are. Watch this.
This is similar to the ex that we were just talking about. And you're the one, this is so funny. You were the one that made this up. This is like, it's the Succubus Show, starring Succubus. We're not going to mention the S word here of this girl's name. Co-starring Succubus. Yeah. Special guest star Succubus. I mean, in her mind, as she's sitting here typing this text out, she's the star of her own movie that she's going to get a Oscar award-winning performance out of. This motherfucker starts this text. I have 2 children. He'd been living with her for a while. He didn't know. Good thing you pointed out you have 2 kids. He didn't fucking notice.
No wonder you kicked me out. I didn't even know you had 2 kids. God damn.
Christopher's like, I failed her. I had no idea 2 kids lived there the whole time I was there. Oh my fucking God! All right,
but notice how she sneaks in. I have done things I'm not happy about. What she say about what she did?
I know my actions have hurt you.
Okay,
and that kills me inside. Yeah, while she's sitting here doing her Oscar performance, she's got to show like, and I'm sorry for my part in this too, bitch. That you don't think that. I don't want to see you or talk to you for a while. Consider this a breakup with temporary potential to come back. You fucking... Oh, my God. Can you believe she said that? The audacity.
Yes.
The audacity.
I can believe it. She's
like,
very consistent.
But don't get with anybody else.
Fuck that.
Don't get with anybody else. I mean, hang out just in case, though. Hang out just in case. With a temporary potential to come back. I'm sorry, everybody. This is bad radio because the writing is so small on our screen. I have zero interest in dating anyone also. It's not even close to that. That's what every chick says, by the way, guys. Let's stop right there because we got to hit that hard. Every girl that's breaking up with you is going to say, no, I don't want to be with anybody else. But then you see them a week later, and they're with some dude. Well, we know why this is, Anthony. This is because she already broke up with you mentally a long time ago, and she's had male orbiters that have been just hanging out, waiting to take the opportunity. So even if she's technically not seeing someone, all women have male orbiters. You know, I've even said on this show before, how do I know my wife has male orbiters? Because she's attractive and she's a woman. You know, even if my wife doesn't want to admit there's no male orbiters, there's always a couple of times where I'm like, yeah, but what about this? What about this new lab guy at work? You know, we're having some conversations. What? My wife doesn't talk like that. But all women, Christopher, have male orbiters. Okay? So she doesn't want to see anybody, and that's close to that. This is more of her Oscar award-winning performance.
Yeah.
Where she's like, no, it's not that. It's my feelings, and you just aren't enough. You're so much not enough, Christopher, that I don't even want to see anyone else, and I still don't want to see you.
I love how women lie when they say that they don't feel like they talk about feelings, but when it comes down to it, it's just about tangibles.
Right. If Christopher won the lottery tomorrow, I'm sure this would be one of those. Out. Yeah, there'd be one of those. Well, no, I said it's a breakup with potential to come back. What? Yeah. Got the fuck out of here, man. All right. I have zero interest. I'm at my wits, and Chris, I love you, but love is not enough. Maybe in the future we can rekindle this, but for now, I need you to just let go. Fix yourself, not for you, not for me. I'm sorry, this bitch can't fucking write. Fix yourself, don't for you. I think she meant do it for you, not for me.
Yeah.
Get yourself in better financial standing. Pay me what you need to, and we'll take it from there. I can't deal with this anymore. I'm truly sorry. Do it for you, not me. Oh, she goes and corrects herself. Do it for you, not me. So she comes with a star and corrects herself via text. Let's unpack there.
Well, I like how little value love was, though. Like, I still love you,
but you ain't got enough money. When you get better financially, I mean, she fucking says it.
Yeah.
Honestly, let's give a little credit to Succubus here. She's being a little bit real, you know? And let me tell you, if a woman and this same ex that we're talking about on my side, so Anthony, the relationship's coming to a close. Anthony, my ex that we're talking about, she was a little bit different than most women on social media that we all see today. She was a little different, Anthony. She liked to travel. My ex was a little different. She loved and was passionate about travel. Now, I know everybody. She's pretty different that way. She's pretty unusual. She's maybe just a little worldly than the other women you're used to. I bet you don't see a lot of women on Instagram or any other bits of social media that are passionate about travel. And of course, we're being very facetious. This fucking dumb bitch parlayed that into we need to go to a vacation with my son, by the way, which is very relevant to what we're talking about here. And she says we need to go on a vacation to fix this relationship. Spoiler alert, it doesn't fix the relationship. Bitch just wanted to fucking travel and go halvesies with me. Okay? So we end up going halvesies, and she puts some of it on a credit card. And we go halvesies where I pay for half her kids' shit. Okay?
Wow.
That should have never even been asked of me.
No.
Okay? In hindsight. I shouldn't have taken this specific time of year off at work with my career. It was just a bad idea altogether. Couldn't afford it. Still owed a friend money. Couldn't afford to be spending extra money at all. But I'm like, well, I got to do what I got to do to save this relationship. And push comes to shove, and I end up owing her $600. Because, we drove from Seattle all the way down to San Francisco, stopping and doing all kind of shit along the way. King salmon fishing, going to Mount St. Helens. Doing all, hanging out in San Francisco for a day, like all this crazy shit. And it was all on her. And I kind of did what Christopher was doing here at the end. I still owed her this money, and she was using that, hey, think you could get me the money? And I was just like, oh, well, I've got this one thing that I'm attached to. Like, I can still maybe make a little fire out of this ember of me owing her some money. So I make a few payments on it, and finally, she shows up on social media with another guy. And I'm talking about, and I'm sorry, coincidentally, it was on my birthday, too. So, and the way I find out about it is my family that lives in Memphis, Tennessee, calls me like, hey, what's going on?
Wait, you didn't say y'all broke up, though.
Didn't tell them that. They're like, well,
no, you didn't say you broke up recently. Like, you just went from, all that money.
Thank you for correcting me. Yeah. She had broke up with me.
On the trip, right?
I forgot about that. She broke up with me on the trip, and this was the final breakup. We still had to spend 2 more days together.
Oh.
Then she calls one of my friends. So, you know how you'll be saying shit about your friends to your girlfriend? You'll say, personal shit because you're laying there in bed together. You just had sex, whatever. During this trip, not only does she break up with me, she calls one of my friends who has carnal knowledge of an affair and tells the wife, blows up their relationship. This is 2 days left in the 7-day vacation. Yeah. And even after that, I'm like Christopher here. I want a full disclosure. I'm like Christopher here. I'm like, well, I've got to get her this money back. After she broke up with me in front of her kid, spent 2 more days with her, and she fucks up my close friend's marriage. Yeah, this is the truth. I'm not making this up.
Evil bitch.
And thank God they didn't get divorced, but they almost did over that. So then I come back, and I'm trying to, hang on to, get her money back. Now that I've taken the red pill, bitch, that was your vacation. That was your kid. You ain't getting a motherfucking dime back. Fuck out of here. Your fucking $530. Tell you what. Give me your credit card number. Let's make it another $530. Get the fuck out of here. This girl in there, once maybe you get your money together, pay me what you owe me. You're telling a fucking man who you're hurting and devastating, You're going to use that to be like, yeah, but make sure you get me the money you owe me and stuff. You know, I mean, again, we might get back together, but I mean, that's going to depend a lot on like the payments you make on what you owe me and stuff like that.
Exactly. That's why I said that shit's so conniving and so fucking.
She's conniving
snaky.
From Jump Street on this shit, dude.
Yeah, that shit's so snaky, man. You can't fall for nothing they say. It's about her actions, man. And her actions was to put you out and not to fucking work with you. She said she only want to speak to you, look at you. That's some evil shit.
Get that money back that you owe me, though.
Somebody's telling me like how they don't want to be involved with me. All you got, I mean, you're spelling it out. That shit's evil. My ex-wife did this to me, right? I remember I had moved out. You know, I told her. She told me she didn't want me to be there. I'm married to this bitch. She told me she don't want me in the house. She's done this several times. Like, she did it like, I don't want you here tonight, this and that. This is her house now because I moved into her house. That's why she can have these conversations.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not telling you not move into her because I ain't done the dumb shit. Yeah, I done that dumb shit, right? So, and the reason, and I'll give myself some cover here. I was moving from Houston to San Antonio, and she already bought a house. We were getting engaged, so it was like, I'm marrying this bitch. Why not? But it still gives her, this is her layer. This is her den. She can put me out whenever she wants. Damn, she didn't give a fuck that we were married. I can put you out whenever I want because this is my shit. I remember when I bought a painting. I bought a painting, Wesley. Big fucking painting. I was at Costco. It was a big fucking painting. I really liked it. And I was like, I want to put this in that empty area in the house where we got all this fucking big wall. I want to put that there. That'll look nice there. You know what she told me? What are you doing with that? I was like, I want to put this on this wall right here. It looked like it matches the carpet. It matches the furniture. She was like, you can't put that in my house. I got confused a little bit. I was like,
can you also share with our audience, do y'all have a child together?
Yes.
You can't put that in my house.
I don't want that in my house. And that's the wording and the verbiage they get to use when it's their house, man. And in my sense, I'm like, guess what? My beta ass was like, well, shit. I wonder if they take this bitch back. Will they take this fucking... Because normally when there's art, you can't return that shit. You can't return art and stuff. Because the actual painter that made the shit was there. So he was more like a vendor than Costco. You know, it's not part of Costco.
Oh, yeah.
You know
I've seen those guys there before, for sure.
So I don't even think I can take this shit back. So I'm out like $175, man. Because she didn't even want me. She won't even put it in the fucking garage. It's how much she didn't want me to have this.
No one could have hated a painting this much.
No,
this is all a power play.
It's very much a power play.
I mean, no one could have hated this much. And unfortunately, our friend Christopher is coming out the other side of this. Christopher, and this is what, you know, I'm kind of going through a season of life right now, Anthony, where I think you and I are both going through it because of this podcast. We're trying to help as many people as we can, and I want to show everybody else because we've pointed out how vicious this crazy bitch is. And our friend Christopher here, do you know what he says after he sent those text messages, the ones we read?
Yeah.
Our friend Christopher says, he messages me after those. He says, I'm so upset with myself. I really don't want to lose her. Do you see how special do you see what this woman had was so special? She had a man who genuinely loved her and wanted to care for her kids, and she really doesn't care that much, does she?
No.
She wants to get her money back. That's a big piece. Now, I'm not talking about Christopher wasn't some crush online that was liking her photos and stuff. He was, now he came in a little bit insecure. Christopher, nothing we can say about that. Except possibly, was she the source of it? Were you the source of it? Only you know. You know what, Christopher, right now you don't know because you've got too many feelings. All you're seeing is, how do I fix this? How do I get back together with her? So right now, brother, you're not really at the wheel anymore. I will tell you, and this is my advice, and Anthony, I'll ask for yours too. I don't want to lose her. I don't want to get her back. So I've got some bad news and I've got some good news. So the bad news is you're not going to get her back. Okay? You have been so beta with her in front of her kids. You moved into her house when you shouldn't have. And when a woman, typically what we see, and this is what Corey Wayne sees a lot too, a lot of people find us because they're going through some pain like this. And we bring them to the red pill and we show them what life really is. And typically you'll become a better man and you'll get a better chick. That's why the good news is this is over.
Right.
This is not, Christopher, your level of love and loyalty do not deserve, because, I mean, Christopher is still hurt over this, and he was willing to raise 2 other children. And let me go back to what I was saying before. This isn't Christopher wasn't some weird crush. This woman thought enough of him that she moved him in after 2 months. So this is obvious. She was obviously smitten on him, but obviously the difference between Christopher and her, Miss Succubus over here, is that Christopher's loyalty and love doesn't have an expiration date. Hers does. Christopher's love and loyalty is like a mountain, like a redwood oak tree. Hers is like fucking milk. And Christopher, that's why the good news is this is over. You need to find a chick that is deserving of your love and loyalty. And brother, I'm not saying that's going to be easy right now. I'm reading your messages. This is going to be hard. But the good news is you are going to find someone better. And the reason you're going to find someone better is because I'm confident you're not going to make these mistakes again that you're recognizing. I need you to read Corey Wayne. Stay in touch with the program, because these people that we're helping, Anthony, I want to get these success stories out. You know, I want the people in Hungary and Denmark and DePaul. I want them to see that you can make a difference in your life. You know, 2020, new goals, new you, new me. I want you guys to get better. I want you to first read Corey Wayne's book, How to Be a 3% Man, 15 times. Then I want you to move on to Alpha Male Strategies. Then I want you to move on to Donovan Sharp. And then I want you to finally graduate to Rollo Tomasi's 3-book series. He wants to know the advice, Anthony. What do you say?
Leave this bitch.
Well, she's already dumped him. I mean,
well, he has to leave her, though.
He has to mentally leave her, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
She is renting free space in your mind and your heart. And it is physically and emotionally hurting you. It's holding you back. So once you finally leave her, however you need to do it, you must. Because these false words of hope or a sense of coming back, that's not real, okay? And she was right. You do need to work on yourself, because healing from this is going to be a part of.
He needs to work on himself, but she wasn't right.
Well, she's right for.
She's accidentally right.
Well, she's not saying. She's not saying it in the way that I mean it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? She meant it in a, as a degrading comment.
Mm-hmm. Or she wins,
right?
Yeah,
because you need to work on yourself, because obviously I have it better than you, so that makes me better than you. That bullshit. I want you to work on yourself by what Wesley was telling you. Read the book multiple times, up to 15 to 20 times. The reason we need to tell you that is because you need to become that material, so something like this will never happen to you again. The reason I read this book that many times, because this happened to me.
Yeah.
And it happened to me, and that was my kids. So me moving on was definitely harder than you moving on, because those aren't your kids.
Yeah.
Okay?
And Christopher, you got to look in the mirror and understand that. And Christopher, what I hope for you is that you do have your own kids one day. And you can understand how different this is.
It'll be very different, trust me. That the pain of your own kids is far worse than somebody else's. And no matter what attachment you had, once it's gone with the mom, it's gone, okay? Because she's taking her cubs away.
And do not, and I don't even feel like I should have to say this, but just in case, because I read what a charlatan this succubus was. Just in case, Christopher, if you guys are not together, I want to make sure you do not do anything to support those kids moving forward. I would like to think that you know that, but
just in case.
Just in case. Okay. I think it's about that time to move on. We coincidentally, the gentleman Bruno, who's a loyal listener to this show, just came into the live stream to give us a love. I'm sure Bruno is out there on a Friday night, living his purpose. So I'm glad he's not watching the live stream right now. He is the one that asked us to go into our next segment about cold approach.
Yeah, cold approach is probably, I think, the fuel for me, especially when I'm out and I'm in a good mood and I'm like, yeah, man, I wanna meet somebody today. Cold approach is where you do that,
For our listeners that are new to the program, Anthony is our man who is doing this live. And nothing annoys me more than someone, for instance, when I became single, the most recent time that I became single, you know who wants to give me all kind of advice?
Married people.
Yeah. Been married for fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
Ain't been in the 10 years ago, Tinder didn't even exist.
Let me tell you how the dating game is, Wesley.
Yeah. So for our listeners that don't know, I am happily married, and I do have a lot of great red pill experience. But for the benefit of our listeners, I have been out of the game now for a couple of years. So I do want to get in here where I can, where I have experience. But I'm always going to defer to you, Anthony, because you're out on the streets. You're out on the streets doing this live right now.
Yeah, dating is like changing out your fucking software on Microsoft. You get 2 years behind. You're way behind.
I'm like, this is how I used to cold approach. Anthony's like, update available. Exactly. Bruno, listener of the show, was like, hey, I understand hobbies. Hobbies take a long time.
Yeah.
And to develop, we talked about easier than cold approaches, getting these hobbies where you meet women out and you have the same interest, and you they get to see you doing something that you're passionate about. But the pros of that is it's a lot easier, and women also get to observe you and kind of get to know you before you approach, right? But the cons are the time, right? Yeah. It takes a lot longer. You got to put a couple months into a hobby,
which is worth it.
It is worth it
to take your game to the next step. To have that in your back pocket to talk about,
because we that's what you said. You said just talk about it. It makes you more worldly to have a hobby, and more worldly guys are simply more attractive to women.
Oh, definitely, because you got something that you're doing in your life that they're not exposed to.
Yeah.
So now they were like, wow, You got a lot going on in your life. If I was a part of your life, I would have a lot going on in my life.
Yeah. We talked about last week, you and I being in a bourbon class and all the thirsty chicks in there. This is how guys that are married mess up. They'll take up a hobby. If you're watching the show on television, This Is Us, one of the characters on the show was fat, and he takes up CrossFitting. As soon as he took up CrossFitting, some fucking bitch, some thirsty bitch came after him.
Yep.
You know. But if I want to get laid tonight, Anthony,
okay,
I got a cold approach. Can you start out simple for a lot of these guys, like some simple tips and some simple do's, but also some simple don'ts?
So, I'll start first with a broad sense because we talked about foundation before, right?
Oh yeah, that's a good way to start.
You want to build from the bottom up so that you know every approach needs to have this type of mentality. If you're cold approaching, you can't have a pickup artist mentality.
Really? Why do you say that?
Because
you're blowing my mind right now. Because I always thought so.
No. Pickup artist mentality isn't socializing. Women,
a little too structured, you think?
Yes, and guys are in their head on what did I say and how did I say it.
Yeah.
And you said start low, so I'm doing that. But can you socialize? This is why when you go to the malls and you are saying hi to 100 women, or you're going to a party and you say, I'm going to meet every girl at this party, it doesn't matter if I hook up or not. I'm not worried about that. I'm building my social skills. This is very important for you before you go out and try to now have a end result in mind when you do go out to say, hey, I want to get laid tonight. So be able to socialize with anybody. Old people, young people, fat people, skinny people, fine people, tall people, short people, yellow people, purple people. It don't matter. Be able to talk to anybody. Once you're able to do that and be comfortable in your own self and can talk about yourself confidently, you can approach any woman, period. You won't have the fear and anxiety that comes with approaching a beautiful woman because you talk to people all the time anyway.
Anthony, I think you just brought up a good point. You know, want to get laid tonight. You're talking about become social first. And I think it's important for our listeners that are learning cold approaching. Set up what success means. Because you are not ever going to get good at cold approaching if did I do good? Well, I got no sex out of it, so I did bad. Yeah, no, set some realistic goals. I like how Anthony talks about talking to old people too, because you're having to become this chameleon. You have to change around your personality and do it fast. There was a lady in the gym today, and she was wearing some. I enjoy Asics, the shoe. Mm-hmm. I really like the style of a lot of their shoes, and she had some gray ones on with the white bottom. And I'm talking about she's old. This bitch looked like she was like 89 years old. I mean, and
at the gym, that's good.
Yeah, hey, good for her. Exactly. And I stopped her, and she's not used to a young man talking to her. And I was like, hey, I really dig your shoes. And she's like, oh, well, thanks. I was like, yeah, ASICS, they're the most comfortable, aren't they? I was like, I love that brand of shoes. She's like, yeah. She's like, it's really blown me away. This is my first pair. I was like, oh, my God. Yeah, I've had like 4 pair of ASICS. I ain't trying to fuck that old lady.
Right.
Jesus Christ. That would repulse me to even think of this woman naked. But to your point, Anthony, it's about being social. And I had no anxiety to talk to an older lady, even though she was very off-put at first.
Yeah.
Guy walks up to her, that's just fucking, just getting after it at the gym, tattoos all over him and shit. But as soon as I began talking, her tone softened, like, oh, this is a nice guy.
Right.
And my success was not built on, are we gonna fuck?
Right.
My goal by telling her that was if she didn't know Asics were a dope shoe, I want her to know, first of all, they look dope. And second of all, if you don't know how dope that brand is, you're really going to enjoy it. And that's my goal.
Yeah.
Right? And so our guys that are starting that are not very social or you're socially awkward, this is why our man Anthony over here tells you Toastmasters is a great place to break a lot of that. But you need to set realistic goals. If you're not very good at talking to people and you can end the night saying, I talked to 5 people, that's a positive goal.
Yes.
You know? And then once you go from that, you can go to, I talked to 12 people. And then you can say, I talked to 12 people, I got 2 numbers.
Yep.
And set realistic goals. Yep. And then you just keep getting better and better and better.
Exactly. And I'm sorry, Bruno, I'm going to be talking to, as I'm approaching a lot of different people levels, because not just everybody's on the same level. So I want everyone to be able to take something from it and not go over people's heads. So stay patient. I also want you to understand that rejection is a part of life.
Oh, yeah. And
being rejected isn't like Wesley was talking about, well, did I win? If you were talking to women and you were being social and you got rejected because you was like, hey, she's pretty hot, I want to know more about her, I want to see if I can get further with her, and you don't, and she said, oh, no, I'm married, or I got a boyfriend, and I'm pretty loyal, I don't really want to talk that way without him present, blah, blah, blah. And, which, by the way, good on her for being a loyal bitch. But also, nothing to do with you. You can't change her fucking relationship status, right? So don't take rejection.
I already hear some of our listeners. Well, I keep going when it comes to this because a lot of women say they have boyfriends when they don't.
So we talk about attraction and desire, right?
Exactly.
Do I need to go further?
If Drake was sitting there, right, even if she's got a boyfriend of 7 years, I'm single. Drake, I'm single.
If her husband was right there and Drake was like, she was like, babe, hall pass, babe. So no, I take my L's, man. I don't take my L and take it home with me. I take my L right there in that moment. And when I'm leave that set, I'm gone to the next chick, and I don't have that L no more. That L is with her, not anybody else I'm talking to. So you got to learn how to leave rejection where it was. You don't let it stick with you.
To the guy that doesn't believe in pickup artist stuff, I noticed you have the language down.
So not that I didn't do pickup artist shit, because that shit worked for me.
Yeah,
but.
What I'm referring to is when Anthony called it a set.
Oh,
whenever you went up to a girl, in pickup artist language, whenever you go up to a woman, it's called a set.
Yeah.
Now, what you said though is really important. What you said is really important though, because in the pickup artist lingo, a set, it's kind of what you just said. It allows you to fail with that one girl, and it doesn't affect your approach with any other girl. Like, okay, I lost that set.
Like a tennis match set.
Yeah.
I got a new game. Now I got a new game.
Yeah.
I start all over.
I'm not going to let that old set affect this next set. Yeah.
I didn't even realize I said it. I'm glad you caught me on that. Because I've done pickup artist shit because I tried to do it, but I'm trying to tell you that if you do it and you're not good at it, you're not good at cold approaching, because if you're asking about cold approaching, you're not good at it. So what I'm trying to tell you, don't be that. Don't be what you're not good at, okay?
See, and I would have, I'm glad that you're in charge of this segment, because I would have told them the opposite. I loved pickup artist shit because it gave me some X's and O's. You know what?
You're very good at communicating with people, though.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have an issue attacking a conversation at all.
But sometimes my issue is communicating with people. Sometimes bitches will think I'm not there to pick them up. They'll think, oh, this guy knows a lot of shit about blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you can't.
Sometimes that's my problem. I don't have the X's and O's and the goals to move me from point A to point B to point C to point D.
Well, was this before you understood how women are, like, their body language? Before you can read their body language?
100%. Also, putting all my knowledge together, I realized that I was entering a set, as you put it, and as I put it too. I still use that verbiage. I was entering a set with a lot of validation, which you can't do.
Yeah.
Guys, this is one of the hardest parts about cold approaches is you want to lead with validation. So one of the things in the pickup artist skills that really help me, if you guys are familiar with the jargon, they'll do something that's called negging.
Yeah.
Yeah, and negging was really helpful for me as, like I said, like an X's and O's of cold approach, because negging is you give them a compliment, but then you kind of take it away. Like you'll go up to a girl like, God, those nails are beautiful. Are they real? So you're giving them a compliment, but you're taking it away because they're probably not real. Yeah. And now she's got to feel,
damn.
Oh,
he must like real nails.
Yeah, he must like real nails. One of my favorite negs that I would open with would be, wow, looking good tonight. So I'd open with that, and then I'd go, what do you have going on for you besides your looks, though?
I love that. I've used that before.
I love that line.
100 times,
I love that
man.
line so much because it takes them up high, and then it brings them all the way down to what you and I would call, vetting. Like, okay, you got my attention.
That's why I love it. Yep.
You got my attention. What else you got, bitch? And then they get in that mode of going from very high to like, oh my God, no one's asked me this before. The only person that's ever answered that well for me was, it was two girls sitting together, and I did that. And I said, well, you ladies look amazing tonight. What do y'all have going on for you besides your looks? Now, and since you've used that line a lot, you know that sometimes that goes really badly.
It can, yeah.
Bitch. I mean, just women are just different creatures. Some of them, it's like horses. Some of them are brown, some of them are black, some are white. Like whatever.
Well, it depends on her attraction to you as well. On how.
Well, this was the ugly bitch in this specific story.
Okay.
So I'm like, she would have been.
Of course,
she should have been very happy to end up with me in this situation. She was the ugly fat chick. I was there to hit on the other one.
Yeah.
But you and I know, as pickup artistry,
you have to talk to the group. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to talk to the group.
Yeah.
You can't go up and talk to one because that bitch is now going to cock block you. Mm-hmm. Wow, we are going to a lot. We're doing a lot more pickup artist shit than I thought.
You started it.
I'm sorry to our listeners.
Like, you said a pickup artist word, though.
Well, in this particular one, these are the only women that answered it well. They're like, well, we're teachers. We teach kids. And then you have them on the defense, and then you're like, wow, teachers, that is impressive. What ages do you teach? And now you're in a conversation. Yeah. And
easy.
And then 2 hours later, I'm with her in the back seat of my car, and we're making out.
Yeah.
In that specific case, I never saw that chick ever again. But that was just that was the only time I ever heard that line answered like, well, we're teachers. I'm like, wow, shit. Well, that is impressive. What age do you teach? And I'm in a conversation with these girls about them teaching.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, this is how trying to be funny can go wrong. Yeah. Same scenario. You said this, when you said it, I'm like, this motherfucker looking at my life. So, same scenario. Opposite fucking reaction. Two chicks. Both was fine, and my friend was with me. And during this time, I was trying to introduce him to some like red pill shit, but he was married, but he used to like go out and hang out and shit like that, but
cheat on his wife.
Yes,
anyways,
basically. He's like,
Anthony was trying to dance so hard right there. I'm like, let me stop Anthony from dancing. Cheat on his wife.
So we would go out, man, and pick up chicks. So we went to this real fancy little place, man. I haven't went back. I digged it. The drinks were too high, but I digged the spot. Anyway, Chicks was there. I said, hey, how y'all ladies doing? Y'all looking really good tonight. I said, dresses fitting tight, looking sexy, looking like Coke bottles and shit. And so they started laughing. You know, oh, no, that was good. Everything.
I was about to say, you were saying this is where comedy goes bad. I didn't think it was a bad pickup line.
No.
I was just
wait.
I like how you kind of led with validation. It wasn't heavy validation, but then looking like Coke bottles and shit. That to me, that's funny.
Yeah,
like because you know exactly what everyone knows what a Coke bottle looks like.
Right.
You know I don't know. Anyways. I thought you were going to say that's where it went wrong.
No.
I thought that was kind of clever.
No. Next. This is what I'm saying. You start feeling yourself, right? So you think it's like, hey, it's Anthony's comedy hour. So
then you become the anchor man on the news.
So I'm getting the laugh. I get the hand on the shoulder. Boom. I'm in there. Instead of fucking like going forward. Because I already broke the ice. I got a fucking hand touch. You know what I'm saying? She broke my physical bubble and came to me and touched me, right? So instead of putting my attention on her, because now I already addressed the group, now I can talk to who I really want to talk to. I'm like, so what do you guys do? Like, besides come out looking sexy on whatever night that was. And they were like, well, we're both teachers. I was like, awesome.
That's what reminded you of it?
Yeah.
When
we're both teachers. Story. And I was like, oh. And I can't remember how it came out, but I said, not the molesting type, right?
Oh, my God. Anthony, oh my God, Anthony, is there an epidemic of molesting teachers that I'm unaware?
Man. It was to me because in the news I was seeing so much fucking
teachers. Weren't they with teenagers and shit?
Yes.
Though? Okay, that's not the same as molesting. Right? I don't know. The using the word molest is. I mean, when a teacher has sex with a 16-year-old boy, I don't know. As long as they're opposite sex, now I'm gonna get in trouble from our LGBT community. But as long as it's a female teacher and a boy, I don't think anyone would call it molest. I love your choice of words. You sure ain't molesting kids.
Listen, man, I lost them. Look, they were the.
Oh, you did?
I lost them, dude.
Oh, boy, I would have never guessed.
Listen, man, they were the best looking chicks in the night. So I was like devastated. Like that killed my friend was like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I was like, I thought that shit was funny, man. And for me, today, I probably don't make that joke, but at the same time, fuck you, bitch. If you don't think that shit was funny, fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I thought that shit was funny.
It was not funny.
But
it's funny to tell the story now.
But I think because they are teachers, that's why it wasn't funny, though.
I think let's use a different profession. Let's use, hey, what are you? You're a nurse? Wait, the molesting type?
No, listen.
When you know them nurses where motherfuckers are in comas and they'll just like do sexual shit to their body. You know, the molesting type of nurse.
I'm saying, I didn't hear in the news nurses molesting patients. I was hearing in the news fucking teachers getting fucking caught, fucking kids. That's what I heard. So,
I like your point to this because one of my rules was quick humor surprise or clever surprise, where they understand like you demonstrate your IQ really quickly. Like, what do you have going on for you besides your looks? Like, I'm not impressed. And then, well, we're teachers. Well, hold on, shit. I am kind of impressed by that. My whole thing was maybe a shock or awe or laugh.
Yeah.
And so I'm here, I'm in this space, but to your point, like you did the Coke bottle thing, that was your shock and awe or humor. but then you got to quickly go into conversation fast.
Right.
You have got, guys, you got to have, you know what? To Anthony's point, don't have a bunch of canned shit. Nope. But what you're going to have to develop is taking an interest in people. And you're going to have the right questions to get you into conversations. Do you come here often is a good one. So do you come here a lot? It's my first time here. And you've got to get into conversation quick. You have got like milliseconds to get into conversation on cold approaches. You got to be like, look over here with my joke, bitch. Right. Okay, and then now you're in a conversation. You don't even know what the fuck happened. To me, that's kind of the magic trick of a cold approach, right?
Yeah, I also do when I do jokes. I also do physical. I want to get physical real quick, and when I say physical, I want us to touch bodies for some reason. High-fiving.
Yeah, you do the high-fiving thing a lot.
Yes.
I mean, it must work because you do it a lot.
Yes.
I usually notice you doing it. For our listeners that haven't seen it, usually notice you doing it when because usually when you're hanging out in a group, someone will say something funny, and you'll make eye contact with them while you're laughing, and you'll high-five them. Yeah, I had this written down here, too, because that's another pickup thing, is you want to escalate to physical touch.
Yes.
I've always noticed the big mistake on physical touch for guys, and this is why high five is genius. They touch too long.
Yes.
You got to touch and get away.
Yep.
Yeah. You got to touch.
Because even when she touched me, she touched my shoulder, but she quickly took it back.
Yeah.
Because I made her laugh, caught her off guard, like you said, shock and awe, but she was like, what that physical touch was like, I like you, that was funny, keep it up. Like, what you're doing is good.
Yeah.
That's what her covert message was to me with that light touch. And if you don't know that, if you let that go, you all you can say is that, okay, cool. And she's the one that did it to me before, because guess what? Bitches are competitive. She did it to me first. So basically she was like, Tag, you're it. You're the one I want to talk to.
Yeah.
Because you have to. That's where one thing about the environment you have to be aware of, right? Got to be aware of the environment you're in, because when you, especially on the approach itself, how you approach her can also make you or break you. Because if she's in front of you and you got to chase her from behind and you grab her arm and pull her around, that's dangerous. You trying to rob her. That's the first thing she's gonna think, because she's a woman.
Yeah,
you're a man, and you grabbed her arm and trying to turn her around. Don't do that.
I love that you have a rule. You have a personal rule, Anthony, that you said you learned from your mentor. And this is something to challenge all of our guys when it comes to cold approach. Anthony has a rule that if he looks at a girl, in other words, if he looks at her and admires her beauty, now he has to go.
Yep.
It's his rule. A mentor of his long ago gave him this rule, and as many times, anybody that knows cold approaching, because you brought up a specific example just a second ago, cold approaching is your crash and burns are going to crash hard.
Yeah.
So don't worry, fellas. It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Because the specific one you brought up was you go up and the girl will just turn her back on you.
Yeah.
That's rough. That's a crash, because that is just a motherfucking diss. How do you handle that, Anthony, when a girl does that to you?
I was like, when this has happened to me, because it has, and I was like, wow, I didn't know you could talk with your back turned. Well, it was nice. No, I'm finishing the conversation like she's right here. It was nice getting to know you, but I didn't get your name, and I will go talk to her. And I will leave. Like,
yeah.
Now, I have to. This is one thing that I do for myself. You gotta psych yourself to the point where you're not bothered by women. That's a dick and an asshole move that she did.
And she just saved you. I mean, the segment we did before with our guy Christopher, he ended up in a relationship with that kind of bitch.
And do you want that kind of pain?
No.
No. So she saved me a lot, but at the same time, I can tell myself that it ain't my fault she's a bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
so you
she can easily say, hey, sorry, I'm not interested. Yeah.
Set's over, moving on to the next set.
And the thing is, like, if someone, and another bad one is someone gets loud with you as they reject you, right?
And the whole bar sees it.
Yeah. I go with it, and I'll go to the next one like, did you see how bitchy she was to me just now? Like, that was totally uncalled for, right? I'm not gonna feel shamed by anyone, right? So I'm not gonna allow something like that to affect me. And you gotta build tough skin. If you're sensitive out here trying to cold approach, good luck. Because women out here today are vicious. And the thing about me, I've gotten older, I've gotten more bolder, and I get more direct with what I want.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to ask for what I want because they're not dumb. They know what we want when we approach. So when you catch them off guard by saying exactly that, they were like, "Oh shit!" Like, really?
Yeah.
But if they actually, after I say something like that, and I'm still cool, and I'm still not making them feel uncomfortable, then I could probably get exactly what I said I wanted.
I remember the loud rejection I got one time, and I was in a horseshoe bar. Those bars that are horseshoes, the bartenders walk through the other side. So those are hard to get dissed at loudly because everybody sees it. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't any music playing. It was one of these bars where you had to put money in the jukebox for there to be music.
Yeah.
So they were going to fucking get you, like, buy the drinks and the fucking jukebox.
Ah, damn. You got to pay for the DJ and shit.
And she did I went over to talk to her, and I'm not kidding. She, nope.
God damn.
Loud. And everyone looks at me, and I kind of put my hand up next to my face, and I was like, guys, don't judge her. She's not a bitch. Her gerbil died today. And then the whole bar erupts in laughter, and then she had to be the bitch.
Yes.
Now, let me tell you, had that joke not went off, now I look like the weirdo.
Doubly, yeah. You look doubly dumb, right?
And by the way, fellas, there are professional fucking comedians. Chris Rock will go up on stage when he's working out new material, and he'll just bomb.
Yeah.
So with our cold approach guys, and you also shouldn't tell teachers the molesting kind. I mean, Anthony is right. I mean, humor is a slippery slope for our guys cold approaching.
Yeah.
But humor usually does, if it works, people will be kind of put off guard.
Again,
I'm sorry, not put off guard, but if it works, people will be a lot less shielded with you.
Right.
They'll just become comfortable, like, oh, okay, this guy's fun.
Well, you make somebody smile. Who can do that? You know, people pay money to go make them smile, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's big. The thing is, also, it doesn't have to be humorous. You can be like, I just wanted to introduce myself. I found you very attractive. Those eyes are fucking stunning. So,
that's validation, though.
Look,
gotta be careful with validation.
Look, I'm gonna tell you with it. That's the only fucking compliment I give her, though. That whole conversation. That's the only one. Because I've done this before. I saw this chick with some knee-high boots. That shit's sexy to me. The knee-high, thigh-high boots.
Oh, word? It's sexy to you? Yeah, you're like you're a little unusual, like my ex-girlfriend who was passionate about travel.
Hey, not everybody like boots, man.
God, those knee-high boots when women wear jeans in the winter.
Ooh, man.
Good God.
I saw the boots.
My wife has like 4 pair, and I love every one of them. Oh, God.
It was like a moth to a flame, man. I was just drawn because of the fucking boots. Like, she was just an average-looking chick, but she was stylish with them fucking boots, man. So I walk up to her, and I'm like, you know, those boots are wearing the hell out of your legs, right? So I said,
but hold on, Anthony. You know what I like about that, and the Coke bottle thing?
What?
It's kind of like it is a compliment, but it's more a joke, right? And I know Anthony doesn't want you guys to can a bunch of scripts, but man, you got one chance, man. You're like Eminem up there. You got one shot
one
to not miss this chance to blow. Because guys, on cold approaches, I will say, and whether I've done it in 2 years or not, this has not changed. You got, and you're on,
right?
And it's got to be quick, like boom. And then would you say, Anthony, it is, you've got a millisecond to get social proof. Mm-hmm. Got it into a conversation.
Yep.
Quick.
That's it.
Get in there.
Yep.
Do you come down to 6th Street a lot? Do you? Anthony,
use your environment.
Yep. But you beat me to it. You've got a good rule, like use your environment. Mm-hmm. Like, man,
it's cold. It's been cold and hot in Houston today. I didn't know what to wear today. I see you chose to wear boom, 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 boom. It doesn't have to be fucking clever.
Anthony, you've talked about this on the show before. Can you kind of coach our listeners through using your environment? Because you've had such good examples in the past.
Well,
because
let's say
it's colder. It's cold or hot. And by the way, listen, our listeners, I feel lame. Again, I haven't done this in a while, but I feel lame with the "do you come here often?" Because that's just. That's like even almost out of a fucking movie. But Anthony, you're really good at like using the environment to.
Well,
I hate to put you on the spot, but you're really good at it.
You haven't been to Mongo yet, huh?
No.
Yeah. I was on this boring date, man, and one of my favorite places I like to go, and it was hard to break her conversation up, whatever. So I just started using the decor in the actual place I was at. So I started talking about the decor, and for whatever reason, that lit a fucking light in her eyes, and it came up.
What is the decor like? Just so I'm kind of.
It has a lot of Asian like antiques in there.
Yeah, that would be easy to talk about.
Yeah. So apparently that lit a fucking light with this bitch. So the conversation flowed after that. So, and what happens is you get caught in like this fucking stupor of asking kind of like real unnecessary questions or questions you haven't earned the right to ask yet. Like if you're getting too deep with a conversation, like I see a lot of guys type in different groups about, well, you need to ask her what her passion is. That bitch know you don't care about her passions.
Yeah, it also sounds just like scripted. Like,
yeah.
I see now why you're saying don't show up with scripted stuff.
Nope.
But immediately you got my head going. You mentioned something about the decor. And then immediately what I would do if I were there is I'd say, God, I traveled to Thailand when I was a teenager, but never left the hotel. I've always wanted to go explore Asia. What about you? And then,
easy.
Yeah.
Whole conversation after that.
Yeah.
And it don't even have to be about Asia, but she's like, she could say, no, I always wanted to go to blah, blah, blah. And then that you got a conversation about that. So it's never about really what you're saying. You just got to get in there and start fucking talking. And another thing that I wanted to touch on you guys about is the just be genuinely yourself, because the value you have is enough. You don't have to come with, like you just said, canned speeches or shit to talk about. You yourself is enough value to have a fucking conversation with another human being. Don't make it bigger than that. You're just having a conversation. Yes, you want to escalate it. You want to take her on a fucking Insta date where you say, hey, where you going? Get her logistics. Are you out here busy? You're shopping? What's going on? And she's like, no, I'm just hanging out. And you was like, I was about to grab a cup of coffee or some tea or something like that. Hey, come with me. And and I mean, this is after you've gotten her, you gauged her interest, obviously, but take her right then, right there. So you can build from there, and now you got an opportunity on your way there to try to grab her hand, and to show her that you're the leader, that you aren't afraid of physical touch. This is not no friendship shit. You know what I'm saying? You I remember one time I was at a party, and I knew some of the people there, but I didn't know everybody. And I saw a group of ladies hanging out, and I did this in the Navy as well, and I remember doing this a lot, and it's worked. If I see a group of ladies hanging out, especially like on a dance floor or somewhere, I'll just bust in the middle of that shit. And I'll be like, hey! And then I was like, I want to know your name and your name and your name. What y'all doing? Like, what y'all doing here? Where y'all from? Talk to me. It seems like it's rude, but it's ballsy.
Yeah,
it's very, very ballsy, and
now those are going to fall hard though. If
they fall,
if they fall, those are going to fall hard.
Luckily, though, guys, my energy
don't be afraid.
My energy has never made it like rude. You know what I mean? Like like you said, you got to include the whole group when you do approach the group like that. But when you are talking to the group, you're trying to find out. Because let's say it's 4 hot bitches in that group. And you don't know which one is single, married, or into you, or dating each other. Like, they could be, bisexual, or they can be lesbian. You don't know shit. That's why the cold approach it is a high fucking fail rate. But to the right person, I mean, is it worth for you to get into that scenario and find out?
Well,
because
are you asking me personally?
No, for the people that are listening.
Oh, okay. If you were asking me personally, I would tell you yes, because there's a special adrenaline you get from cold approaching that you don't get from happenstancing, meeting
online
bitches, doing a hobby, or especially online. There's a special adrenaline. There's this thrill of the hunt.
You find out something about yourself, don't you, when you do
it? So I've been kind of, because you've been going through this, I want to have a map for our listeners. I don't want them to think we're dancing around. So we start out with, if you look, you have to approach. Then you're going to come up with something quick. It's either going to be witty, funny, or
social.
Make them think. Make them go, what? You ladies are beautiful. You got anything going on besides your looks? It's going to make them like record screech in their mind, like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
And then when they reply, you get into conversation. Now, I'm going to reverse these actually. This is one of the things I had success with, and I would like to get your take on this, Anthony. We talked about approach, a little bit of a quip or a shock and awe. We're just going to call it a shock and awe for this program. Approach, if you look, you have to approach shock and awe and work on that, guys, and then work on transitioning quick into conversations. Now, something I always had success with, Anthony, was kind of abruptly, as in part of the conversation unexpectedly, I introduce myself and shake their hand. Like, to me, that always, well, but I don't, but I do it abruptly. My goal is to have these bitches kind of like, what's this motherfucker going to do? This isn't how people normally talk. Jesus Christ, he's so, confident, So we would be, teachers, wow, what grade do you teach? Third grade? Third grade for you too? No shit. What do y'all teach? Oh, just like the basic class. Wesley. And then I reach out my hand. I'm like, Wesley. And then, Jesus Christ, this motherfucker's all over the place. But it's kind of getting them like, now they're paying attention to you because they don't know when you're going to do something fucking crazy again. I mean, crazy is a bad term. I wish I had a better adjective. But I like that abrupt, like, bitch, I'm here to hit on you. Like, and when you reach out your hand and just say your name, they're like, oh, now I have to get my hand off my drink. And I always had a lot of success with that. What are your thoughts on that?
No, I like it I like it in the middle of an interaction versus in the beginning, because most bitches don't even remember your name in the beginning. If you're like, hey, I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Anthony, and if you go into that, they don't know fucking name after, because all they're trying to figure out, like, what this motherfucker want? Why is he talking to me? What does he want? And then they was like,
but now they don't have time to think about it, because you're like challenging their brain. Like, right. Well, first I'm pretty. Now I'm being pretty is not impressive, but now I'm impressing him because I'm a teacher and I teach their grade, and his name's what? And like that's because their minds all over. Because guys, bitches don't do a lot of thinking. Okay. They don't just sit there. Yeah, they don't just sit there and pontificate the world. And I'm talking about most women. I know. Send me your emails. Not all women do that, Wesley. Yeah. I know. But when you're really
they don't have to do this. They don't have to do what we're doing. So no, they don't have to think about shit like this.
Very good point. Yeah. So they don't have to think about shit like this. Can I give you guys an example so you're in the right mental headspace when I talk about the name thing? Have you ever been in a class, in a classroom setting, and a teacher was calling on the students unexpectedly and a lot? They'd be like, War of 1812 was really, really impactful because it involved who, Anthony?
Oh, damn.
And they point at you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Hey, I remember being in a class like that, and the teacher, now I'm looking through the book and shit, like I'm trying to be prepared. I'm trying to read through the chapters. And I'm like, I'm looking around. Does anybody else know this answer? So I can be,
Well, the reason I used history is because I figured you knew the answer to that. Oh. But even if you know the answer, and it's, as we all know, UK versus US, but the Native Americans were very involved in it. But if you know the answers, you're still engaged in this teacher way differently. You might know this shit forward and backwards, but you don't know when this bitch is going to call on you.
Right.
So you got to be, hey, I know War of 1812 front and back, and I'm just sitting here dazed, and they're like, Wesley?
Huh?
Oh shit! I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about.
Yeah. What was the question?
I can make an A+ on the test right now, no problem. But I wasn't fucking listening to you.
Yeah.
That's what I want, the headspace. I want you to kind of have these women in this headspace of like, what's this motherfucker going to say next? He might call on me. And for some reason, when you assertively, and my favorite thing to do was I'd kind of lean forward and say, Wesley, and I'd stick out my hand. I felt like that was an assertive way. I'm not saying my name is Wesley. I'm Wesley. For some reason, I just felt it was very assertive to be like, Wesley, and give him my hand. And then that's the first, by the way, that's the first time you make human touch. Mm-hmm. Go back into your conversation, and to Anthony's point, escalate for human touch. So we're talking about if you look, approach. So our approach, shock and awe, quick in a conversation, drop your name, and now we're escalating to physical touch.
Yeah, I also have a couple of notes based on what we already touched on. Don't be result or response conscious.
That's a good one. We talked about that a second ago. What is success?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you going into it looking for a immediate result, like she was like, oh my God, I was waiting for someone to talk to me, and you're talking to me. Oh my God, it's not gonna work like that. So don't be looking for the result or the response to be positive right away. I've had a girl almost bite my fucking head off, and we end up making out. So it's not a quick. You're not looking for quick responses. Sometimes you have to initiate the result. You know what I mean? Like the physical touch. One thing I've done, I'll do this with tall women because they're instantly want to look me up and down because I'm shorter than them. I'll grab their hand with the once I get their attention and talk to them, I'll grab their hand and do a turn, make them turn around like a pirouette. And for whatever fucking reason this does in their brain, it breaks all that fucking I'm shorter than them shit away. I don't know.
It is very assertive.
I don't know what the fuck it is for them.
Well, but to me, can I guess that you're also coming from a genuine place of you're admiring their body?
Yes.
Yeah, that energy probably translates to them immediately.
Okay.
Because you're doing something very genuine. You're not like, Anthony told me to grab girl by hand and twirl her.
Yeah.
You know, you're not becoming robot guy. I don't know. I like that. That is a good move.
And I do a almost a 2-step front and back, and then I grab their other hand and just look at them up and down, and I was like, do my little bottom lip bite. Like, anyway,
that's. I was already thinking about it when you said the twirl thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had some kind of cool adjectives back in the day too that were. It's kind of like what you just said. Like, you bite your lip. You were given a compliment, but you held back.
Yeah.
And back in the day, I had some specific adjectives that I would use that would give them a compliment, but not be what I felt was not as validating. I mean, of course, any compliment's going to be validation to a woman. My favorite adjective, because I immediately thought of it when you said you're twirling the girl. I would say, wow, you are quite statuesque. And statuesque is not, it's certainly a compliment, but it's not like, God, your eyes are amazing. You know, that fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, sidebar to eyes are amazing, Anthony. Your eyes are beautiful. It just became a canned thing, right? To where, like, now, if I see a bitch that has beautiful eyes, like, have you ever seen a woman like with beautiful green eyes?
Yeah.
And they're just like, whoa, my God, that bright green, and they're super, super light colored. You're like, oh, that's why motherfuckers started saying women have beautiful eyes. Because some women have beautiful eyes.
Yeah.
And then men just...
They start going, wait, oh, your eyes look like the sky. Or they start like ocean blue, like the puppy brown eye. Like that, they just start going with it, like trying to make it poetic.
Well, and if I were going to compliment eyes, again, kind of like... because I'm being genuine, because like her eyes are like, man.
Well,
I
when it's something
anything
obvious like that, I will say, I'm sure you get this shit all the fucking time. Like, I'll say that. I said, so I know I ain't saying anything different, but goddamn.
but even if I go to validation, I will say something a lot more understated. I'll be like, wow, your eyes are impressive.
Yeah.
You know, I still won't...
Using a different term, like instead of beautiful or gorgeous.
Yeah.
That breaks up the monotony, too.
It breaks up the monotony, but also, I don't fucking mean it. You know, you know what I mean?
Sometimes I see fucking beautiful eyes, and it's just what the fuck I see. You know what I mean? But I don't give a fuck about eyes,
also,
honestly.
sometimes validation works. I mean, like Anthony, you talk about this all the time. Sometimes, you know, a broken clock is right twice a day. You know, sometimes validation does work, guys. I mean, don't use it as a rule, but try to steer clear of validation as much as you can. Kind of like I did. Kind of come up with some terms that are not so over the top, like beautiful and gorgeous. And And I'm not talking about they're bad words. They're good words for your wife or your girlfriend.
Get into the thesaurus and use a unique word that you don't even know. And then if she don't fucking know what it means, you can tell her. And then now you look smart and shit. Because you took a little effort to find some new words to say other than like beautiful, gorgeous, pretty shit.
I want to touch on that because Anthony just brought up something good. You are now... So when you cold approach, guys, she knows nothing about you. So it's almost like you're becoming to her like women are to men. They're judging you only on your looks and the energy that you're coming with.
Right.
So bring all the energy you can. If you say a compliment like statuesque, Big Dick Rodney hanging out in the hood is not saying the word statuesque. That's such good advice, Anthony. Go into a thesaurus because now, without her knowing that you graduated cum laude from University of the Incarnate Word, you have demonstrated just using your quick vocabulary, using one fucking word, you're like, yeah, bitch, I'm pretty fucking smart.
Yeah.
You know?
I also, with that, I always say, get out of your head and more into the moment of your interaction. So,
okay.
I don't want you in your head about this. If you just read that word today, don't fucking use it. unless you really understand the word.
And like we said earlier, if you just learned the word today, use it with that old woman at the gym with the ASICs
on. Exactly.
You're like, wow, those ASICs are nice. Do you find that girl over there working out, isn't she statuesque? Like, you try it out before.
Another quick tip, when you should understand this if you read the book. When you talking to her, she's just your bratty little sister, man.
Yeah.
She's not somebody you need to be going there trying to impress right away.
That's the right paradigm.
Yeah.
Right, for sure. Bratty little sister, like we said last week on the show, you don't go up to your bratty little sister and be, God, you're beautiful.
Not at all.
You might on prom night.
Yeah.
That one time in her fucking life.
Right. Right. Because her wedding night and her prom night, maybe, right? So, I'll say, I got this on my notes too. I say your words are not important, so don't worry about what you're saying as much as what you're doing as far as reading her body language and the environment and the interaction. I say give yourself a way out of the set when as you're approaching her in the beginning. Like, hey, I was out here running errands, but I had to come over here and talk to you real quick. So you're giving yourself a way to leave the interaction if it doesn't go well, because you was going to leave anyway. You had to go anyway, right? So you can always, say, you know what? Fuck what I was doing. The conversation I have with you is more important right now, because I don't think I would have met somebody like as you're escalating the conversation and it starts to build and you guys are starting to actually have, y'all start building rapport and shit. I was like, bring it back up. It's like, you know what? I was really going to do that. Or if you're afraid that, you're going to fuck it up, like you're starting to get in your head about it. It's like, look, I really got to go, but let's exchange numbers and get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? So, if you're scared of being in the cold approach and you don't know how to escalate conversation too far, set yourself up in the beginning and say, hey, I got to get out of here. But before I left, I really wanted to talk to you real quick. So, and you're mentioning it real quick before I get out of here. She understands that this is not going to take long.
Yeah.
Right. So,
that's smart. I'm just here for the number. You're covertly communicating. I'm just here for the number, bitch, and I'm heading the fuck out.
Right.
I wrote this down because I feel like a dork. I always used the same fucking line when getting a phone number.
Like what?
And I was becoming more aware that women there's different platforms to get in touch with people.
Oh yeah.
And if there's ever a girl that listens that I picked up on at the time, they're going to roll their eyes at me because they're like, fuck, he did say that shit to me. This motherfucker said, just going around saying the same shit. But I always had this moment, and I tell you what, nothing works 100% of the time, but this was so solid for me, and I had so much confidence in it. I would always have this time when the interaction was about to be over, because what's happening? Are you at a place where there's going to be dancing? Or, but when you feel the conversation's coming to an end, maybe she's leaving, maybe you're leaving, whatever. I would have this moment where I would have this epiphany that this bitch was fun to hang out with. I would be like, this was fun. We should do this again. What's the best way to get in touch with you? And that's, you saw how easily I did it just then. I used that line so many fucking times.
Yeah.
Where it was like I was pretending to give her some approval that she had been seeking from me all night. Like, weird, bitch. This was fun. That's the way I said it. I was like,
I had no expectations from you, but wow, you stepped up.
This was fun. We should do this again. And like kind of some dramatic pausing in there, Anthony.
Right.
We should do this again.
Important.
What's the best way to get in touch with you?
We should talk about that one day. Rhythm speaking.
Yeah. How it was easy for me because I used to be a sports commentator.
Yeah.
And I learned really quickly that, and you probably tell this on this podcast too. You learn really quickly that orating an idea is very similar to music. There's a very pleasurable way to do it that sounds good to the ears, and there's a very displeasurable way to do it. But that pause of like, this was fun. We should do this again. What's the best way to get in touch with you? So you're giving them a little bit of, you passed the test, bitch.
Yeah.
And the reason I would say, what's the best way to get in touch with you, was because sometimes they want to give you their phone number. Sometimes they want to give you their Instagram handle. Sometimes, but very rarely would they go Facebook. But I will point out some bitches did want to go Facebook because they could be like, they want to look at you. You're a real person. Do you have friends? This isn't just some fucking creep. Yeah. Well, are you married is the big one, right?
Yeah.
But that was always my favorite line. I mean, drunk, I may have done some shit, but I bet you I've used that line hundreds and hundreds of times.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just my go-to, and the more I did it, the more confident I was in it.
That's what I say. It's second nature to you, so it doesn't. You don't have to think about what you're saying because you're like, I've said this all the time with success, so this is gonna work. So you don't even think about it. It's like you're saying your name and shit. It's just what you say. So, and if women get pissed off about shit that works on every woman, of course. Y'all have been doing the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Y'all know what works with us. That's why y'all fuckers spend all this money on lipstick and fucking hair and
showing cleavage.
Yeah, this y'all use the same shit, so don't fucking roll your eyes. Running short on time, so I don't want to. I'll just hit up my my notes.
This won't be the last time on planet Earth that we talk about cold approach, but we did want to hit the big spots.
Yeah, I wanted to say what I had wrote this and I didn't even say it. I said, I'm in a rush, but I wanted to meet you first. Those eyes are fucking tantalizing. That's the quote I wrote.
Well, again, using a word a lot of people don't use.
Right.
Those eyes are tantalizing. And when you said tantalizing, I could tell you said it 100 times.
Right.
Huh.
So it's one of those things where you can impress them as you're complimenting them. And that is a key point to getting in and getting them to stop with their fucking defenses. So you start seeing the bitch start to build her fucking defenses like she's getting ready to go to war.
Yeah.
Your approach was probably fucked up all the way together. So
yeah,
take what you're doing wrong as well as what you're doing right. So you can know what to do and what not to do when you're doing these cold approaches, guys.
Now I'm going to meet Anthony halfway on this pickup artist stuff. I do think, guys, before you make the approach, and Anthony, tell me if you agree or disagree, the shock and awe, the moment where you walk up, I had that one in my pocket. Ladies look beautiful tonight. What do you have going on for you besides your looks? Have some of those ready. Because you got to come up quick and get their attention quick, and then jump into conversation.
Yeah, it is not a fucking rat-a-tat-tat of pickup lines. It's just one.
That's not what we're saying.
It's just.
Are you tired? Because you've been running through my mind for hours.
Yeah. Please stop. That's what she's gonna say. Please stop. Because if especially because it's a turn off for them at that point. Approaching them is supposed to be a quick turn on, and if you do it right, it'll work. If you do it wrong, it'll turn them off. So take what we said, go back and listen, and then hit us up You know how to reach us.
Yep. You can reach us at redpillphonetap@gmail.com. That's redpillphonetap@gmail.com. We are on Spotify. We are on Google Podcast. We are on iHeartRadio, iTunes Podcast. We hope we see you guys there.
YouTube. Subscribe, please.
Please subscribe and please comment back. We love you and we want to help you here at
the Red Pill Phone Tap.